time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning, and pretty mild start. How about no heat having to be run in the house? That's pretty good. Gotta love that. Last night, the Mets once again playing in Los Angeles. They have pitching, no offense. They lose 4-0 last night. Yankees on a walk-off homer. What happened last night, Davey?
Well, they were down 10-9. Trent Grisham hit his second home run in the game, so he had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, and they had it on a walk-off and win 11-10.
All right. Okay, a lot of offense right there.
Yeah, they ended their 5-game losing streak.
Mets are now at 6 games in a row, losses. We'll speak with Sheriff Rob MIel on, this is just unbelievable, the story out of Clinton, and you were there at the press conference.
Sure was.
So if it wasn't for a parent, is what it looks like, if it wasn't for a parent going through, which we always talk about this, you just can't let your kids just run wild on a cell phone or on social media platforms without having the password and checking on it.
They said it was, I believe it was Snapchat where it
and
started.
they discovered something on their kid's Snapchat account in the middle of the night, Sunday morning, called 911 because they felt it seemed legitimate. And from what we understand, and I'm assuming this was conveyed to the press conference, this was something that looked like it was inevitable. This was going to happen.
Yeah, even Sheriff MIel and Tony Presenti made aware of us to us. It could have been extremely...
As opposed to talking about the plan, the press conference very well, without that phone call, very well could have been talking about what happened and potential victims and all of that. This is middle school.
Yeah.
And the other part is odd, is usually this is something that's all boys. And in this case, it was
girls.
It was girls. And there were some boys involved, but the main... involved seemed to be girls.
Yeah.
And arrests were made. This is just unbelievable. Guns were seized. 11 guns were seized. And we'll speak with Sheriff MIel on all of that coming up in just a bit. Also, Jonathan Savage on the latest. Are we talking about holy wars with President Trump and the Pope? This thing the president put out, showing him as Jesus healing people, is just ridiculous, and it's getting criticism, strong criticism from people, from Christians especially. But I don't think it's the first time he's done it. I don't know why everybody's so surprised, but this time people are really bothered by it. And then I saw a clip where the president said, "I did post it. I posted it, and it's." I don't know what the media is making up. Typical fake media. The fake news is turning this into a Jesus. That's a doctor. I was a doctor there. I don't know if my doctor walked in and looked like that, I would be like, I think I'm in the wrong place.
Yep. Get the heck out of here.
Yeah. That was a pure lie by the president, and I cannot believe how bad it seems to be getting. We are turning the White House into One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I'm afraid, and it's nutty.
Did you see the stage job of DoorDash delivery yesterday to him?
And then the
Oh,
DoorDash
my
thing,
God.
and that's when the interview came, and he said to the woman, right, your husband's battling cancer. We're going
Yeah.
to help him out there. No, the woman is how old? In her 80s?
70, I think
78, 79,
75.
whatever she is. She's doing DoorDash to pay for her husband's cancer treatment because she doesn't have the insurance that she needs. So that it backfired, to be honest. And I don't know. It's just it's a big mess. Listen, the whole thing on not having to claim their tips. That I guess that's awesome for people who get tipped, no doubt. But that kind of backfired. I think anyway.
I wonder, Bill, what was in the DoorDash McDonald's delivery? Whoppers, Big Macs.
What is his? Well, it wouldn't be Whoppers.
I mean, Big Macs,
I don't
cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches.
I don't know what the president's favorite McDonald's is, but he does like McDonald's.
Sure does.
And I'm with him on that. Let's see. We also have Senator Joe Griffo on. We'll speak with him. There's a lot going on. Late budget, the throughway, DMV, electric buses. Oh, we're gonna get a few $1 million towards electric buses. This is billions of dollars it will cost school districts. This is dead in the water. They ought to just kill it and hope for the future and allow the market to dictate what happens with electric buses for schools. This is stupid. Dr. Kent Hall, you see I'm in a mood. Dr. Kent Hall is on later on this morning. We'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. Yesterday, we had a $185 winner. Today's worth how much? $200. I mentioned Griffo. Rome Mayor Jeff Lanigan is on. He'll talk about the $10 million in DRI funding they received. And then a real special treat this morning. He is a Mets fan, but well beyond all of that, Davey. He's a funny guy. The one and only comedian Jim Brewer, who's coming to the Stanley Theater. Jim will be on the air this morning talking his stories and also how you can get tickets. There are still seats available for that show, so you can check it out. Already some comments this morning. Was there anything in the news? This is Wayne about a minivan that drove into that pond to the right at the casino. A white minivan was there yesterday morning, submerged with just 1 foot exposed. Wow, I didn't see that.
I heard about it. I didn't know if it was true. You see stuff on Facebook and say, "Oh, is this fake or not news?" But
well, did Wayne's
saying it was, and
okay.
It's true. How about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Can we get into that real quick?
Yeah, let me do one more comment. Mike, I know it probably can't be done, but it would be nice if Crime Stoppers could do something for this parent who stopped the shooting. Boy, that parent is a hero for paying attention to their kid and their kid's social media and doing the right thing. Not saying, oh, this is never going to happen. This is just fooling around. Instead, calling police and finding out it was real. And I think Trump should think about becoming a Buddhist. He has certainly alienated himself from the Christians and the Muslims. I cannot help but just wonder what's going on with the president when his comment about the Pope is he's soft on crime. Just let that sink in for a second. The Pope is soft on crime. One flew over the cuckoo's nest is where we are right now. And this man has control of the nuclear codes. Getting a little nervous, folks. If you can't see it, open your eyes. Davey, this is another thing that bothers me. Everything so far this morning is bothersome.
And
how is Phil Collins not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet? He is being inducted now.
Yeah, he's in
the latest class.
The class got announced last night. Phil Collins.
Are these nominees or are
no, these are the final.
Class? Okay.
Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division.
I'm surprised Iron Maiden's not in yet. Who is that?
Joy Division / New Order.
Okay. I don't really know them.
Oasis,
yeah.
Sade, Luther Van...
Sade, isn't it Sade?
Sade, Sade, Sade.
Yeah, Sade, I think.
Luther Vandross.
Is that how it's pronounced, Jeff? I don't know. You are the
musical expert here.
I believe it's pronounced Creedence Clearwater Revival.
And shoot.
I believe in the hood is pronounced Shawty, not Shawty.
And Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Very rock and roll they are.
Well,
Not really.
the list of nominees were
Not really rock and roll.
announced a couple weeks ago when you were
Yeah.
away.
Oh,
Mayor
okay.
Lanigan was here at the
Yes.
time when we were going over this.
Like, what is rock and roll and what is not?
Yeah, I think, and we might have hit on this before. I think it should be called the Music Hall of Fame.
I guess so.
That's a branding thing. I feel like. I mean, there are so many legend. Well, I don't want to say legendary, excellent rock and roll bands that aren't in there. And then you have, and I grew up on Wu-Tang Clan. I'm not knocking them,
But that's not rock.
that's not rock.
Yeah. And really, rock and roll is really Elvis.
Elvis. I was going to say
and
Elvis.
Jerry Lee Lewis and all of that. Chuck Berry, and then Motown and all that. That was the rock and roll era. This is rock. I mean, you're talking about Iron Maiden. You're talking about rock. So anyway, it is what it is. You know, we mentioned sadly we lost Bill Howard to cancer. Very sad. And a good friend of the show. And Bill has that giant wood burning piece of artwork from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and every member of Woodstock at Rome, every performer signed it except for one. Do you remember which one did not?
I believe you said it was Jewel, and I think
Jewel.
that's a great
Yeah.
free money question.
Someday
For
after
a future date.
we've all forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that piece of artwork and promotional material that he created is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He donated it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I have a poster of it.
What a piece of history
It
that
is. It is.
You know, it's one of these things where
And do you find there's some irony? And I got Jonathan Savage. There's some irony to the fact that it was wood burning, and you know how the whole thing ended with wood burning, the fences and all of that stuff. Let me bring in Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio. Jonathan, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on with an update. We're talking this morning this holy war between President Trump and Pope Leo. Verbal sparring over Iran and everything else. What do we know here this morning, Jonathan? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We have seen presidents and popes disagree in the past, but perhaps not quite so personally and not quite so vehemently. This war of words over the morality of the conflict in Iran is escalating, it seems, day by day. Just yesterday, Pope Leo saying that he has no fear of the Trump administration. He will continue to speak out loudly against war, saying too many innocent people are being killed. And then he went on to make a speech in which he said, what he said was the face of the continuous violations of international law and neo-colonial tendencies. Now, he didn't mention Iran specifically. He didn't mention President Trump by name, but I think that everyone knows how to interpret what Pope Leo is saying.
What is the danger? I mean, so there's the storyline that there was a threat that was made by the White House against the Pope. Is there any reality to that?
I'm not sure about that. I know that President Trump has said very strong things about Pope Leo. He's called him weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. And he has indicated that he does not believe the Pope is good at his job, essentially. Yeah. And now we're in a situation where President Trump is defying the Pope's calls for a ceasefire and indicating that he knows better than Pope Leo. And Pope Leo would say, look, I'm the moral leader, not the political one. This is my realm. I don't want to get into a debate with you, but essentially you're going down the wrong path.
The other, the week on crime thing, just keeps bouncing around in my head, and I'm really trying to. When I think of the Pope, I don't think tough on crime. I don't think I don't think weak on crime. Oh boy. And then of course this AI image of the president as Jesus or as God healing people. Boy, that did not go over well, to the point where the president actually pulled it down, but it was too late. The reaction to that has been pretty bad.
Yeah, it has. And, Pope Leo himself has not responded to it, but plenty of Catholics, plenty of conservatives, plenty of allies of President Trump have responded, including some calling it gross blasphemy. An art historian saying, this is clearly drawing from the Christ the Healer concept. President Trump, however, refused to apologize. He said actually he was being a doctor, making people better, although he was dressed in robes rather than scrubs, it has been pointed out.
Yeah.
So, he's President Trump, not the type to apologize, but it is unusual for him to take something down. And clearly enough people had said to him, look, we don't like this.
If my doctor walks in with a glowing crystal ball in his left hand, I am going to be like, get that thing away from me. I have no interest in that, whatever it is. Well, we'll leave it at that, Jonathan. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Jonathan Savage from Fox News. Yeah, because if you saw the image, it had and it was glowing and light coming out of it in his left hand. Or maybe it was just his left hand that was glowing and had that healing glow to it. It's like, oh boy.
So who did he do an interview with? Somebody asked him this question. I hadn't seen the photo, so I had to go look it up. And they asked him, like, what about this picture, this depiction of you as Jesus Christ? This was where... I'm a doctor! I think he said he was a doctor, right?
Yes, that's what Jonathan just said.
I said, wait a minute, I have to go see this. How is there's a question...
Did you see the image?
I did.
Do you see any doctor
anywhere that's
near...
him as Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on.
And why
Jeff Behar.
Why would you... And he said he posted it. I'm just saying, we're getting to cuckoo time, and it's getting a little scary. I'm getting a little President J.D. Vance dancing in my head. That's what I'm thinking. Something is going to have to happen here. This is ridiculous. And we are the laughing stock of the world, if not for the fact that we are blowing everything up. And now, thank God for our military being sound to be able to handle all of this. But listen, we're in a position that's not a good position. This situation in Iran is not good.
No.
And there's no military member who's saying, this is where we want to be and this is what we planned for. I mean, they planned for everything, but there's no way this is where they want to be right now. This blockade is dangerous. There's a lot that could go wrong here. So thankfully, we have an amazing military that's allowing us to maneuver through all of this. Wayne, you are correct. If Wayne says he saw it, I believe him. And Kevin just sent us a photo of the minivan in the water at the turning stone, and about a foot above the roof of the minivan. The water is all the way up, so to get out of that, they'd have to. I mean, there would be air because it's not apparently that deep where it's completely submerged. But
wow,
that's a real deal. And I don't know how you. I was just driving by there recently, and said, maybe someday they can put like boats in there. I could see like a big paddle boat with one of those big boats like you see at Disney that's going through and giving rides. I mean, I don't think the water's deep enough for something like that. Clearly, we now know how deep the water is. Apparently, someone heard me and wanted to test it out. Let's see if it could handle the boat.
Yes, let's see if we can do a crew of 6 here.
Little paddle boats probably would work. The little ones that you pedal might work. But nonetheless, in the water. Nice day for it. Temperatures were up close to 70, maybe a little warmer than that.
And let's hope nobody was still in there.
I always thought, Wayne says, I always thought rock was more heavy metal. I do think Iron Maiden would be considered heavy metal. I think I'm with you, Wayne. And Mike, perhaps someone from the American Cancer Society could reach out to. This was a great idea that Mike has this morning. Listen to this. The fact that Jewel did not sign Bill Howard's big Woodstock sign, and she's the only one that didn't sign it. Mike says, in memory of Magic Bill, Jewel should step up and finally sign the wood piece. A nice gesture honoring Bill and a great PR move for Jewel. Perhaps someone from the American Cancer Society could reach out to her. I think that's really that's a cool idea. Although she hated Woodstock because people were throwing things at her. And it was not, that crowd was not the right crowd for her at least that time of Woodstock. She was scared to death. So I'm not sure she has a good feel for Woodstock. So I don't know how she would handle that request.
Yeah, I don't doubt or dispute what you just said there. I just, I hope she has it's hubris, the word I want to use, to have this perspective to look back and say this was a very historic thing I was a part of. While I might not have had the best experience in the moment, as a recognition that I was a part of this, go ahead and sign it.
Wayne saw the van in the water. He said, I was there. You know why he was there? He was collecting his winnings from the Masters. Wayne made some good bets.
So he didn't listen to Mike Francesa.
Apparently not. He was collecting.
He took Rory.
Collecting my golf money I won from the Masters. He took Rory.
Yes, and hubris was not the word I was looking
Manansky is looking for news, not hubris. And here we go. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. It is 6:39. Vice President J.D. Vance says Iran will have to decide if future peace talks with the U.S. will ever be successful. On Monday, Vance said the two sides made a lot of progress after meeting in Pakistan, but ultimately Iranian officials refused to agree to too many critical issues that were vital to President Trump. The CEO of United Airlines reportedly proposing a merger with American Airlines to President Trump in February. Sources say United CEO Scott Kirby suggested that the move would result in a stronger competitor in international markets, a nod to the administration's focus on U.S. trade deficits around the world. Industry experts say approval of such a merger would be unlikely due to antitrust and other challenges. A teenage boy is charged with murder of his stepsister during a family cruise vacation. The Department of Justice announcing charges on Monday and alleging that the 16-year-old sexually assaulted and then intentionally killed his 18-year-old stepsister, Anna Kepner. According to officials, the Florida high school senior died from mechanical asphyxiation last November. Entertainment professionals are speaking out against a planned merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. More than 1,000 Hollywood figures have signed an open letter arguing the merger would, quote, further consolidate an already concentrated media landscape, end quote. It also claims it would reduce competition at a moment when both the industry and audience can least afford it. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly making an interactive AI version of himself so that employees might feel more connected to him. That's according to the Financial Times, which reports the company is training the avatar with Zuckerberg's image, voice, mannerisms, and tone.
Well, that'll be a boring example of AI.
Yeah. Is that robot staring at me?
Very awkward. Very awkward.
And let's see. The WNBA draft was held Monday night in New York City. AZ Fudd was selected as the first overall pick by the Dallas Wings, reuniting her with her former UConn teammate, Paige Beckers. The Minnesota Lynx took TCU guard Olivia Miles with the second pick, followed by the Seattle Storm selecting Spanish center Awa Pham Tiem. WIBX 950.
And we just had for Rudy and Lowville, the Sabres continue to plow forward with another win, 5-1 over the Blackhawks. The Sabres in first place right now.
Yes, and Smitty's in there pumping his fist with a Yankees hat on today, by the way. And if I don't think I've got it in me, yeah, I need to work on it. The Buffalo say that's no good. We'll get there.
We will. Let's do a forecast, which is somewhat it's pretty mild for April.
It's wet. It's warm.
From the Weather Channel's Ray Stajic. Good morning.
That's sort of good news, bad news. We do have showers, thunder showers in the forecast. I guess that's the bad news, but the good there is that not expecting any widespread severe weather. I mean, there might be a stronger storm or two between tonight and tomorrow, but for the most part, it looks like we should stay sub-severe. Might get a shower this morning, maybe a thunder shower, a little better chance this afternoon. Heads up, could be some fog also early. 75 later. Likely showers and thunderstorms tonight, especially early. Near 60. Scattered showers, thunderstorms around tomorrow. 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It is a warm start out there, Bill. I'm sorry. What do you have for a temp?
My current temperature is 55 and cloudy.
55. Double nickels. If you're headed out to the casino, sign of good luck.
643 WIBX.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Keeler in the morning. Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Sean Hannity during your workday. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's 1 for you, 19 for me. 'Cause I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man.
Well, get ready, because tomorrow's the day, right? Tomorrow is tax day, and I think it lands actually on tax day this year. Sometimes we get lucky, and we get a day or two because of Patriots Day in Massachusetts or whatever. But tomorrow is tax day. Okay, I wanted to bring in Sheriff Rob MIel and get the latest on this just very, very scary situation in Clinton, where a threat was discovered by what I would describe as I would like to say hero parent, but in reality, it's what every parent should be doing, and that is keeping an eye on their young kids, their kids' social media, if they're on social media. And that's what happened. They called police, and it turned out the threat was real. Sheriff Rob MIel is on the line right now. Sheriff, good morning. I know it's been a long couple of days for your people and yourself and everybody at the sheriff's office and beyond.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Definitely a long weekend for the members of the sheriff's office that worked this case. They did amazing. I mean, I can't say enough about the work that everybody put in, from the initial responding deputies to our forensics people to our investigators, investigators from our criminal investigation unit and our juvenile aid unit. But just a great job. But yeah, you're right. This started by a parent who was parenting. I guess that's the easiest way to explain that.
Yeah, I like that.
A parent of an uninvolved child in the late night or early morning hours. It was about 2 a.m. they happened to, it was brought to their attention. They saw a Snapchat group chat going on, and was alarming enough for that parent to pick up the phone and call 911, and that's when it all started. And thank God that they did that. It's pretty scary that kids this young, could put a plan together. It's just, thank God that this parent intervened at that stage, because I don't know, we'd probably be holding a press conference of a different kind, something that no one would ever want to do, and it's just pretty scary. There was definitely a plan to cause some mass harm, and they had the means to carry out that plan, and things were going to go into motion in a couple days from now. And just like I said, just great work by everybody involved here from start to finish.
So, how many guns were taken out?
So there were 2 females. It started with one female juvenile, which led to a second female juvenile's house, which led to a third juvenile, but this was a male's home. At that home, 11 guns were taken. The investigation led to a 4th home up in the town of Boonville. In the end, that individual was not involved in this case. Just happened to be a child who was friends with these people, and may have been part of a conversation, but certainly nothing to the level of the others. And out of an abundance of caution, there were 30 guns taken just to be held voluntarily by the sheriff's office from this family while this whole thing gets sorted out. But I want to stress that 4th juvenile is not a suspect in this, nor were those weapons going to be part of this plan. But again, out of an abundance of caution, just to keep everyone's mind at ease here. And I also want to stress that the parents of everybody involved here were extremely cooperative with law enforcement. We don't always get that. So again, that certainly helped us a lot too. I want to stress that.
What do you think started? Can you talk about what may have prompted this?
There was very little history there. There was a little bit. I can't get into any of that, but and then obviously both of the females were taken for a mental health evaluation. So there are some other things going on, and again, I don't want to get into that. There are some other things going on, which, and along with some other well-known national events that always, creep up at this time of the year, and that may have kind of helped this along a little bit.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
How detailed was the plan, or were the plans?
It was pretty detailed, and I'll leave it at that. So just very, very concerning for law enforcement. Very, very concerning. Like I said, they had a plan in place, a detailed plan, and had the means to carry it out. But like I said, thank God it didn't get to that point.
Can I get your take or some perspective here? Because as I'm looking at this, both female juveniles, 13 and 14, were cited for aggravated threat of mass harm, which is a Class A misdemeanor. And then I see the young male was charged with conspiracy, which is a felony. It's scary to think that there was some detail and some plan in this, yet there's only, in some cases, misdemeanor charges being able to be filed.
Right. Well, if you notice in our press release, mid to 2/3 of the way down, we have a statement in there that additional charges are pending. Because you have to realize you have a criminal investigation, and then once a mental health evaluation kicks into place, things have to go into neutral on the criminal side temporarily, and then we can resume the criminal stuff at a later time. So more than likely you'll see some additional charges filed. You know what I mean? We just have to, obviously we got a couple systems going here at the same time, the mental health system and the criminal justice system. So we have to make sure we're following the guidelines of the law as we move forward. But I also want to stress that everyone is safe and certainly this played out the perfect time of the week. It certainly allowed law enforcement to, like I said, some of these guys worked, doubles straight through to get their work done, but it helped that it was on a weekend because it didn't disrupt any of the school schedule. That was critical. No students were in any harm's way. Obviously, school, there were a lot of kids that were kept home yesterday, and I understand parents' concerns, but the school is safe. We have a lot of extra presence at the school from law enforcement. And again, this is a scary thing. This is certainly we've dealt with a lot of school threats in my 16 years as the sheriff. This is the one that certainly is the most alarming that I've seen in my time as the sheriff.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, the system, the training, our threat assessment team, that the county executive announced just a few weeks ago, their work is now just beginning. What this team does now, they come in, they'll do threat assessments of, these kids and anyone else that may have even been aware of the conversations and, offer the mental health counseling. There's a lot of things that I'll kick in now on the mental health side of things too.
Yeah.
So this is what we planned for and trained for, and I'm just grateful, and just grateful that this worked out the way it did.
Were the suspects trained? Were the children trained to be able to use these guns?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
So this could have been a disaster.
This
would have been that's the understatement.
In so many different ways.
Yeah.
In so many different ways, this could have just gone really, really bad. But to answer your question, no experience with firearms.
And then the other thing that I can't stress enough is the importance of what this non-involved parent discovered on their kid's social media. The fact that they were checking it, the fact that they didn't just blow this off and actually call 911. I mean, so many times in these stories around the country that we see, it's something someone saw, they should have done something, and they didn't. And this parent or parents, these parents did. I mean, that's enormous.
It really is. I mean, we have been preaching, if you see something, say something, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have to say that this person saw something and they said something, and thank God that they did. And like I said, thank God that we have the great law enforcement members that we have at the sheriff's office. And man, this thing was textbook, and just a great job by everybody involved from start to finish.
All right.
Sheriff, I know you said the parents were cooperating. Are the students cooperating as far as the motive for this? Like, how did we get all the way to this point?
Well, again, that's I can't get into the details there, but at the end of the day, you could say that there was cooperation. I mean, obviously the good police work is what solved this case.
Yeah.
So, but our main concern, like I said, our main thing I wanted to mention is these parents. Everyone involved realizes there's some issues that have to be addressed. They realize that law enforcement has a critical, important job to do here, and they didn't get in our way at all, because if they did, they could have made our jobs a lot more difficult, and they did not. So we're grateful for that, too.
I think the other takeaway of this is, and I'll ask you again, this was not a joke, an empty threat. This was something that it looked like they were about to carry out.
Yeah, they were certainly about to carry it out, or at least attempt to carry it out. And but like I said, it could have gone extremely bad in so many different ways if it got to the next level. So. And
where do they get the guns? Is that public?
They were legally possessed by adults.
Adults,
and they were properly secured and things like that. But again, even though you're in the same home, people, certainly know how to get access to things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
all right, Sheriff. Congratulations on we missed a really bad. Luckily, missed a horrific situation here because of the hard work of law enforcement. Big deal.
Exactly. And also, I want to give a shout out to the school district. They helped us a lot here too. And this is not anything that any school district wants to deal with. And I know parents sometimes aren't happy that things aren't coming out quick enough or fast enough, but the first and foremost with the school district and law enforcement, safety of the students is the most important thing. And that's why we got so many calls yesterday. Is it safe to send my child to school? Absolutely, it is.
Okay.
But thank you guys.
All right, Sheriff. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Have a great
Have a
day.
good day.
Sheriff Rob MIel. And the last thing you expect is this to be coming out of a local middle school. But then it becomes even more shocking when it's two girls. Normally, this is always boys. And for God's sakes, this is what you see around the country. So when you're thinking that you're going to get even, what used to be getting even was I'm gonna punch somebody, and now this pretty darn scary.
Or even the crude comeback in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
When they insult me, I've got a better one.
Yeah, I'm throwing a hot dog at them.
Yeah. Or your mom is so fat.
Yeah. No, none of that today. Wow. Listen, we have news coming up. I want to get into Rudy Giuliani. What is he thinking endorsing this Constantino? What is he thinking?
That's what I'm looking at on the screen. I didn't know who that was.
Does he have any thinking left in his head? I don't know. We'll get to it. Right now, Steve Ponte Mazda is winding down their New Year, New Mazda sales event, and they're down to 23 CX-5s in stock for you to choose from with great deals. 1.9% APR on new 2025 Mazda CX-5s and 0.9 on turbo models. Check it out with Ricky Z, Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Will the U.S. and Iran talk again soon? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Vice President Vance, who led negotiations over the weekend, tells Fox.
Whether we ultimately get to a deal, I really think the ball is in the Iranian court because we put a lot on the table.
Reports indicate a second round of talks could take place as early as this week between the United States and Iran. The issue of uranium enrichment remains a sticking point in these conversations.
With the U.S. insisting Iran agreed to not try to build nuclear weapons. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv is also monitoring the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports in the Strait of Hormuz, now in day 2.
So far, no major incidents have been reported, but a few vessels have turned back after the blockade went into effect.
There are talks today in Washington between the ambassadors to Israel and Lebanon, brokered by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The U.S. and Israel insist Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire as the Israeli military keeps attacking Hezbollah militants backed by Iran. The House returns from a 2-week break today, and 2 congressmen are resigning in scandal. Democrat Eric Swalwell and Republican Tony Gonzalez.
Swalwell faces allegations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct from several women, including a former staffer. And the House Ethics Committee announced it is launching an investigation. Congressman Tony Gonzalez says he'll leave Congress early. The third-term Republican lawmaker is accused of having a coercive sexual relationship with a staff member who later killed herself. The House Ethics Committee formally launched an investigation into Gonzalez last month.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. An American arrested in the Bahamas after his wife went missing, Brian Hooker, set free last night.
Hooker was taken into custody in the disappearance of Lynette Hooker. He claims she fell out of a motorboat 2 weekends ago. Brian Hooker's attorney, Terrell Butler, said as Hooker prepared to leave,
"The first victory is he's out of here tonight, so I'm very pleased."
To this point, he has not been charged with a crime.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save.
ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
There will be no apology from President Trump to Pope Leo over his public criticism. In reaction, he says, to the Pope's criticism.
He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead.
Now, the Pope's in Algeria for a second day, continuing his trip to Africa.
Making a pilgrimage to archaeological ruins in Algeria, once home to St. Augustine. He cited the 13th century theologian many times during his first year in office. But the American-born pontiff's fallout with the American president is still dominating discussions. President Trump says Leo is weak on crime and weak on foreign policy for criticizing the war in Iran. In a speech on Monday, the Pope denounced what he called neo-colonial world powers who are violating international law. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, down for the Dow, up for the Nasdaq as oil prices fall the day after gains that started the week. The NHL playoffs are set. The Philadelphia Flyers and Los Angeles Kings both won last night to clinch the final two spots in the postseason that starts on Saturday. It begins tonight in the NBA with the play-in tournament.
With the Heat and Hornets meeting in Charlotte, the loser will be eliminated. In the first nightcap, the Blazers and Suns will gather in Phoenix. The winner earns the Western Conference's 7th seed. Day number 2, Wednesday, also features a doubleheader. Up first, the Magic and Sixers do battle in Philly. The winner earns the East's 7 seed. Out west, the Warriors and Clippers meet with the loser eliminated. The third and final day of the play-in tournament, Friday, will result in 2 winners, both of whom earned the 8th seed in their respective conference.
That's Fox's Jay Berman. WNBA teams picked new players last night, and with the top pick in the draft, the Dallas Wings took UConn star AZ Fudd. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 55 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Well, we just spoke with Oneida County Sheriff Rob MIel. 3 teenagers in trouble with the law after being accused of making a serious threat. A 14-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, and a 13-year-old boy are charged in connection with what's being called a credible mass shooting threat directed toward Clinton Middle School. That threat mentioned a shooting that was going to take place this week in the building's cafeteria. Authorities say 11 weapons were taken from the boys' home. The suspects allegedly had the means to carry out their plan. Folks struggling to put food on their table can get help from the Johnson Park Center in Utica this week. The first of 2 distribution events is happening today from 3 until 6 p.m. The second is Friday, and it runs from 9 a.m. to 1. Among the items available, fish, venison, fruits, vegetables, and box goods. First-time visitors are welcome but need to bring a form of government ID with them, such as a driver's license or a Social Security card. 2 corrections officers who were hospitalized after being exposed to an unknown substance at Mohawk Correctional Facility have been treated and released from the hospital. The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision says the incidents happened after staff intercepted papers soaked in an unknown substance that was brought in by a visitor to the prison on April 5th. A total of 3 corrections officers and 2 National Guard members experienced symptoms. Now, 1 woman has been charged with a misdemeanor in connection with the incident, and again, authorities are still working to determine what that unknown substance was. State Senator Joe Griffo hosting a free emergency preparedness training program in conjunction with the State Citizens Preparedness Corps, the New York National Guard, Division of Homeland Security, and Emergency Services, along with the City of Rome. That training course will provide an introduction to responding to a natural or man-made disaster. Participants are advised on how to properly prepare, including developing a family emergency plan and stocking up on emergency supplies. The Emergency Preparedness Training Program is happening tonight, 6 o'clock, in the Common Council Chambers at Rome City Hall. That is at 198 North Washington Street in Rome. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here is a look at your Weather Center forecast.
That's sort of good news, bad news. We do have showers, thunder showers in the forecast. I guess that's the bad news, but the good there is that not expecting any widespread severe weather. I mean, there might be a stronger storm or two between tonight and tomorrow, but for the most part, it looks like we should stay sub-severe. Might get a shower this morning, maybe a thunder shower, a little better chance this afternoon. Heads up, could be some fog also early. 75 later. Likely showers and thunderstorms tonight, especially early. Near 60, scattered showers, thunderstorms around tomorrow. 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, clouds, 55 degrees at 7:09. All right, in sports, the NBA playoffs kick off tonight with some play-in action. The Heat visit the Hornets in a battle for the East's 8th seed. The winner will square off against the 76ers or the Magic for a chance to tangle with the top-seeded Pistons in round 1. Out west, the Suns duel with the Blazers from the desert in a showdown for the 7th seed there. The prize for that contest is a date with Victor Wembanyama and the second-seeded Spurs in the opening round. The Knicks will take on the Hawks in the first round. They're scheduled to get underway on Saturday. It is a best-of-7 series. The Knicks were 2-1 against the Hawks during this regular season. Hockey action. The playoffs officially begin this weekend. The Buffalo Sabres have the top seed in the East. They beat Chicago last night by a final of 5-1. As I mentioned, the Sabres have the top overall seed. 108 points in the Eastern Conference, a record of 50, 23, and 8. Baseball last night. The Yankees get a walk-off win in their series opener against the Angels, 11-10. Trent Grisham slugged a pair of home runs, including a game-tying 2-run shot in the bottom of the 9th. The Yankees continue their 4-game series tonight against the Angels. The Mets shut out by the Dodgers 4-0 in their series opener in Los Angeles. David Peterson suffered the loss. He allowed 4 runs on 5 hits and 4 walks. The Mets have dropped 6 straight. They continue their 3-game series tonight. That's 3 out of 4 games, Bill, we've been shut out. And I'm gonna
no offense, decent pitching.
I think we got to get Lindor out of the leadoff spot. I like Lindor. I just think of so many clutch moments for the Mets.
It worked for them last year. It worked last year.
He was a leadoff?
Yeah.
Boy, I so many clutch moments where he had the game-winning hit, and I just see him as like a 3-hitter. I don't know. The whole team's in a funk. I'm not blaming Lindor or the lineup, frankly. This team is in a funk right now, early season. I guess it's better to happen in April than it's to happen in September.
I guess.
Because then you have the biggest collapse of all time and don't make the playoffs. But, boy, this is getting to be tough to watch.
I want to. You good? Mm-hmm. Okay. I do want to just play a little bit of this. I was in Rudy Giuliani's office. Had to be 15 years ago when Bob Cardillo. I was hired to do video of the Giuliani endorsement of Bob Cardillo, and ultimately, who won that race? It wasn't Bob. So I do think these endorsements don't do necessarily all that much. But what is Rudy thinking endorsing this this Anthony Constantino?
I know you're a big fan of his. So
yeah. He can't know anything about him, but listen to what you hear.
Yeah.
First of all, he has been the stuff he has done to his opponent, Smullen, walking in and fighting with. I mean, everything turns into a WWE event, and it's ridiculous. So, and here's Rudy, saying, "I've just met him. He seems to be exactly what we need. Exactly what we need to replace Elise Stefanik." Elise Stefanik doesn't like him, reports say. Okay? These are my opinions that are guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States. I just want to make that clear. I have an opinion.
I like how you said that.
And it is not a great opinion.
It makes it carry a lot more weight.
Meanwhile, you have Smullen running in the Republican primary, who has a spectacular resume, who has served his country and worked his way up, actually even into the Bush administration in some limited way. But this guy running around claiming that all of a sudden he's God's gift because he has money that he throws around. I got to tell you, he's the reason that this whole thing blew up and Elise Stefanik didn't become. He's one of the reasons. Again, back to my free speech opinion. Just listen to a little of this.
I am very impressed with Anthony Costantino. Anthony is exactly the kind of person we need in politics. It's like this is what I talk about, that people like this have to get involved in politics, and here it is for real. This is someone of great accomplishment in the private sector, in business, who wants to work for the people.
I don't think that's what he wants to do. I mean, Rudy should the next time before he was money exchanged here? I'm simply asking. Was he paid to do this? I'm simply asking the question.
Did you say he says I just met him?
He based on what I've seen, it seems like there's no history. There's no history. Because as he talks along, it just leads you to believe that. I don't know. I really don't know for sure. But he's reading off notes. And now, he did know Bob Cardillo because Bob had worked in the Bush administration. And I got to tell you, it's very high security. You get your way up there to the top floor. It's a beautiful office. And you wait for Rudy. Rudy walks in, and you hand him a script. And he hands it back to you and says, I know what to do. And you start the cameras, and you say, got to be 30 seconds. And Rudy just goes. And that was 15 years ago. He was very, very sharp. I'm not sure we're there today, but I think this is a bad look for Rudy. If he looks at some of the things that this kid has done, the disrespect he's shown to his opponent, and I personally can't believe Rudy is endorsing here.
Are we going to play
this out? You want to hear a little more?
Yeah.
A little more. It's not that long.
Tremendous knowledge, tremendous background, tremendous integrity.
Integrity.
10 of him, 100 of him. And you have the opportunity in the 21st District to have him replace a truly great member of Congress. She was one of my favorites. And I would say you got to put a very high quality person in there. So you maintain that respect and you maintain that position that you've had in the 21st District. And Anthony is exactly the guy to do that. He's going to stand out right away as one of the top people in Congress, given his success in business, his success already in government. And this is somebody who's there dedicated to working for you. He's self-funding his campaign.
What success has he already had in government?
That I don't know.
I don't think he's ever been in government.
Nobody can buy him. He's his own man. Who does he sound like? Well, I know who he sounds like. My very good friend of 40 years, Donald J. Trump. That's who he sounds like. And this is exactly the kind of person that Donald J. Trump has attracted into politics so we can continue his work after, unfortunately, he has to leave office. So, Anthony, you're the next generation. I'm very, very confident it's going to be a great one if we got people like you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And you're right. President Trump deserves all the credit for getting me involved in politics. I'm very proud to have your endorsement. And I was just telling you, I think anyone's more proud than my mom right now. So.
The only, based on our interviews with him, the only thing President Trump has is he was inspired by Trump as a business person, and he's modeled his persona after Trump. And how many times have we said there's only one Donald Trump?
Right.
Those who try to be Donald Trump don't do it well. So your thoughts, and then I just have a little information on it.
I hate to say, I don't want to speculate. I don't know this, but that does seem like a paid for, because I don't know what their history is for him to come out. I understand you when you're endorsing somebody, you're not going to say, hey, so-and-so is also a great guy. But when he talks about this like prestige and representing the office.
Integrity. You're talking about Robert Smullen, the man who is
the military background alone is.
Anyway,
when he says his success or references his government, is he thinking of Smullen in the assembly? Is that what he's thinking of?
I don't know, but this is what and this is sad. I'm just going to tell you, this is someone who I trust. So take it for what it is. But I trust this person. This person spoke with the people who work with Rudy in New York, and knows Rudy very closely, works with him. Asked about this endorsement, and this person said, unfortunately, Rudy is not the Rudy of yesteryear. And I think we saw that during the last Trump administration, right? With the ink from the hair rolling down. I mean, it just was a disaster. And now we're how many? We're 5, it's almost 6 years later, and it's
I do want to disagree with.
Andrew is telling me he has inside information. Rudy got free stickers for life.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for that. Yes.
You know, the name Rudy Giuliani to this day, I do think it carries some weight. I'm not saying it'll sway 50% or 30% or 20% of the electorate. I'm just saying I know there's people out there who will say, well, this guy was endorsed by Rudy Giuliani.
The only endorsement I do not believe in, this is just me, again, my constitutional right to opinion, guaranteed by the United States Constitution. I do not believe that endorsements work. The only endorsement that I have never seen it work like this. I mean, look through history. I don't know that it's ever worked like it's worked with Trump. When Trump would endorse, and I don't think he has that same power today that he had maybe a couple of years ago, and certainly back 2016 and beyond. When Trump endorsed somebody, you listened, because otherwise you would, if the other person, that person would win. I've never seen anything like it before, right?
And he did have a heck of a streak on.
And if Trump was against you, you just might as well get out of the race. And look at the number of people that have just gotten out of Congress because of it. So, other than him, I don't know anybody that... Now, if Trump came out tomorrow and said, Constantino's my guy, I think that would carry some weight. Rudy Giuliani today, I don't think carries any weight. Personally, just my belief. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Just my
and I'm not saying to the point that it would sway the outcome. I just know there's people out there who still
to know what
remember the Rudy from 25 years ago.
At this point, I'm wondering, where are the Robert Smullen commercials? This primary is in June. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for May? So we're going to do, it's going to be May? I don't know. Constantino's been on TV for 8 months now. Where are the commercials?
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if he's being advised, and I could see this. I didn't think that this was really going to be that close, but maybe I'm completely wrong here.
I think this could be, people could be very surprised. We don't know what people out there think, which is the majority of the district. I would think Smullen would have a strong support out in that part of the district, closer to Amsterdam and out Schenectady way, where he's from. I would think he'd have, but that's where Constantino is from. Probably most people out there also know him. So take it for what it's worth. And don't forget that Trump distanced himself from Rudy a while ago. That is true. And Constantino completely blew up that whole thing. It was so much of a circus that Trump said, keep Stefanik in that seat. That blew up the whole thing. So Stefanik is no fan, and he's bought his way based on what he told us. He paid to go to Mar-a-Lago. He claims he's close to Trump. Everyone I've talked to who says that's not true. So take it for what it's worth. Just my take. I'll give you an endorsement that worked
Boy, who knew selling stickers could make you so much
When
damn money?
Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan's podcast, he convinced him to endorse President Trump. Actually, that's true. Joe Rogan was a huge, successful endorser. I mean, I think Joe Rogan probably put Trump back in office with that independent young male vote that voted for Trump. Wow, crazy. All right, let me go to Dr. Kent Hall, who is on the line and has been waiting patiently through our
Doc.
Political regurgitation. Doc, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Does all this talk make you want to vote, or does it make you not want to vote? Everything that's going on in the world today, I realize you're a doctor, but doctors vote too.
Yeah, well, I am of the opinion that people should absolutely vote, but on the other hand, given the state of politics in general, finding somebody that you think can do a good job and that has your mindset in terms of the direction that the country or whatever whether it's the state or the county or the country should be going in is not easy. So it's just tough.
It is tough. There's no doubt. It is tough. It is tough. Okay, are we finally getting to that point where we're moving past all of these viruses that still seem to linger? And I've tried to test everyone out and catch everyone that I could, and I've been very successful at that. And give my reporting on all these things like the flu and COVID and RSV. Good times.
Bill got the sampler platter.
Are we? And this RSV, Doc, is just the gift that keeps on giving. It just doesn't go away. Although today I'm having a pretty good day. Yesterday, not so much. It's like out of the blue. All of a sudden, I'll be like coughing up a lung all over again. So anyway, are we past it? Are we finally? Have we moved to the other side?
So we are definitely, on the downhill slide. That being said, for any one individual, you can come in contact with somebody who's contagious and you can end up getting it. So it's not like it's, it's going to go away and we're going to be fine until, September or October or whatever. But, people can still get the flu even in June, July, and August. But in general, no, it is definitely getting better. Again, as the weather gets better and we get outside more and we're able to kind of, spread apart from each other and not just be all contained within buildings and stuff, that definitely is what we're looking for. And that's why the next 3 weeks are probably going to be good because, even though we're on a little bit of a roller coaster with, warm and then cold and then warm and then cold, the trend is toward we're going to be outside, finally. And that's a good thing. Finally.
Okay, I did want to speak about that and just touch on this topic today, and that is you're absolutely right. We're going to be outside, and that's going to bring on new little issues that we have to deal with. It seems like in the last few years, the tick population has been larger than it's ever been, at least in our knowledge, our memory. Talk a little bit about I think people know what they should do when it comes to trying to prevent ticks. You got to be very careful, prevent the tick bites. But talk about what Lyme disease can do. There are those people that get mild cases, but then there can be severe cases. This can be pretty bad, right?
Yeah. So Lyme disease is nothing to sneeze at for sure. To your point, the majority of cases are probably fairly mild. You get a little bit of a rash. Thankfully, you can see that, and if you get antibiotics pretty quickly, then that kind of takes care of that problem. But if it's not found, and not everybody gets a rash, or it's not always in places that it's readily seeable. Then you are setting yourself up for potentially for some real problems. Probably the biggest problems, the most serious problems, are that Lyme disease can affect your heart, and you can have a myocarditis, which can obviously cause significant problems. it can also affect your nervous system. It can actually get into your brain and into your spinal cord and can cause significant problems there. Probably the most common serious effect is really with joints. You can get a pretty bad Lyme arthritis, and that can lead to very significant joint destruction, which can ultimately require you to have joint replacements and things. So it's, to your point, what should we do? Well, it's kind of boring, but what you do is when you're going outside, whether you're going to be gardening or going out with the kids or the pets or whatever, the first thing that you want to do is you want to protect yourself. So using something that will protect you from ticks, some sprays or ointments or whatever that can protect you from ticks is good. You want to make sure that your skin is covered as much as possible. And I say this, and people say, "Oh, well, that sounds really weird," and I wouldn't do that. But tucking your pants into your socks so that there is no gap, because that's where the ticks are going to get into. Wearing long sleeves, shirts and stuff when you're out. And then as soon as you come in, what you want to do is you want to, look yourself over and make sure that you don't see any, because if you can get them off right away, as long as the tick has not been on you for longer than 24 hours, then, even if the tick had Lyme disease, that doesn't transmit it to you. So, it's really being vigilant, doing the fairly simple things to protect yourself, and then, looking after the fact to make sure, having somebody obviously help you, because you can't necessarily see your back and things like that. But, those are probably the most important preventive things.
During the Mets games, I instead of watching the actual play, I'll oftentimes just watch the PSAs that run, because the play is frustrating. There's a Lyme disease commercial that runs during the game. It's a little kid that had just completely destroyed this kid's life by getting bitten by a tick and had an extreme case of Lyme disease. I'm assuming a developing child with Lyme disease, it can be extremely damaging.
Yeah, so kids are going to be more prone to having more severe or developing the more severe complications from it. And, part of that is because their whole body is developing. Their nervous system is developing. Their cardiac system is developing. So, kids, you need to be very vigilant for your kids, but you need to be vigilant for yourself, too. It isn't adults are going to be fine, and we just have to look out for kids. No, we have to look out for everybody.
It can be very, very bad. So, all right, finally, I do have to ask you, I have been looking the other way when somebody tries to put up a spoiler when it comes to the pit. Thursday night is the finale of the season, and it showed in theaters last night. So beware of what you're looking at in the media, because people have seen it and they're gonna reveal stuff. So beware. Do you have any prediction for what's going to happen? Have you been following along that closely? And do you have any prediction for what's going to happen on Thursday night in the finale of The Pit?
So I have been following it, and I will say that I really don't have a prediction. And part of that is because, just as in real life in an emergency department, you never know what's going to come through the door again. And, just as in real life, things can go sideways pretty quickly. That being said, this is also a television show. And
That's true.
They write things in to be cliffhangers and things like that. So, I don't. And that's part of the enjoyment, too, is just to sit back and to watch it. It is one of the most, it is the most realistic medical drama show about life in an emergency department that I have ever seen. And I thought that ER was good in the 90s.
Yeah.
This is, a quantum leap higher.
You, at times, leave this program thinking, and first of all, the fact that it's on at night, the number of times my wife has turned to me and said, how do I go to sleep after this? My heart is like racing. That show this is one of those shows that does that to you. So check it out, HBO Max, Thursday nights. I feel like I'm running a commercial for it, but it's just so good. All right, Doc, smart move on no prediction. I like it. We will see where it goes. And as always, Doctor, we appreciate your time. Dr. Kent Hall, have a great rest of the week.
Thanks, everybody. You too. Please just have a great day, and please be safe.
Thanks so much. Coming up, Mike's free money question of the day. Joe Griffo is in studio coming up in just a second.
I can't wait to get the senator's perspective. The lack of reporting on what's holding up the budget. Nobody seems to know the issues, apparently.
We'll get into it. And in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, they have a team that has years and years of experience in what business? The flooring business. You know, you can go to these stores that have everything. You won't find anybody there who's the expert in what you're looking for, flooring. And that's the beauty of in Sarah's. For instance, Jason, Alan, and Fran, some of the Insera's flooring specialists, they have over 100 years of combined flooring experience between the three of them. Sam Rudolph, Insera's store manager, has been in the home improvement industry his entire life. And then there's Sal and Sarah. Talk about experience. He knows the flooring business. You want to go for flooring to a place that knows flooring. And you save time, you save money, you get a better product, you get the product you're looking for. My wife and I have had great experience with Insera's, the top name brands in floor covering at unbeatable prices with the experience and knowledge that help you go along with it. I've talked about the hardwood floors we had installed, and I realized this was their guy that they use when it comes to installing hardwoods. But talk about a phenomenal recommendation. The floors are beautiful, and it's craftsmanship. It's an art form. What it means to you in Sarah's, you're working with folks that have been in the flooring business for decades. They really know flooring like nobody else. See why more people buy from the big store in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. News is coming right up.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 56 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. It's 7:38. The U.S. military blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz continues for a second day after failed peace negotiations over the weekend. Vice President J.D. Vance, who led the U.S. delegation at those talks, said yesterday that Iran's closing of the waterway amounted to economic terrorism, while at the same time he defended President Trump's decision to retaliate in kind. California Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell is resigning from Congress amid accusations of sexual assault. A former staffer claims Swalwell raped her twice, and 3 other women say he sexually harassed them. Swalwell has denied the allegations and says he plans to fight them. Also leaving office is Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas. He has faced pressure to step down since ending his re-election bid in March after admitting he had an affair with a staffer who later died by suicide. President Trump has now taken down his Truth Social post depicting himself as Jesus Christ. He told reporters on Monday he thought the picture showed him as a doctor and said, quote, only the fake news could come up with a different narrative. The now deleted AI-generated post sparked backlash from Democrats as well as some of his own conservative supporters. Former Attorney General Pam Bondi has been put on notice that she could face contempt of Congress if she fails to appear for a scheduled deposition before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee examining the Jeffrey Epstein case. Democratic Representative Robert Garcia of California says the bipartisan subpoena issued in the matter was very clear. Pam Bondi is supposed to testify today, whether she's the AG or not. A Michigan man questioned in the disappearance of his wife in the Bahamas has now been released from custody without charges. Ryan Hooker told investigators his wife fell overboard in rough seas. Officials have not said whether he will be required to remain in the Bahamas or if he is free to leave the country. And Bill, as we discussed this morning, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's class of 2026 has been announced. Inductees are Phil Collins, Wu-Tang Clan, Oasis, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, New Order, along with Sade and Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross. Did I say that wrong?
Is that the Vandross? I always said, but maybe I said it wrong. But is it Sade? Is that how that's pronounced?
Yes.
You know who would know is Woodstock man himself, Joe Griffo. You know, Sade opened up Woodstock in Rome. No, not true. It's Sade, right? S-A-D-E.
Yes.
Sade. Yeah.
Is Vandross, did he sing One Shining Moment? Was that him?
Maybe.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm the right guy to ask if you needed a news update followed by a Weather Center forecast.
Which is coming right up right here.
That's sort of good news, bad news. We do have showers, thunder showers in the forecast. I guess that's the bad news, but the good there is that not expecting any widespread severe weather. I mean, there might be a stronger storm or two between tonight and tomorrow, but for the most part, it looks like we should stay sub-severe. Might get a shower this morning, maybe a thunder shower, a little better chance this afternoon. Heads up, could be some fog also early. 75 later. Likely showers and thunderstorms tonight, especially early. Near 60, scattered showers, thunderstorms around tomorrow. 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 56 degrees. My pronunciation or mispronunciation of whether it's Luther Vandross or Vandross
was
a Kanye West song from when I was growing up. She said she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross. That's how he sings it.
Oh.
Luther does sing One Shiny Moment.
Oh, he does.
And that is the song played for the national championship game for the NCAA.
Okay. I did not know that.
I did not know that.
Luther, V-A-N, I see why you're getting the dross. It's Dross. Luther Vandross.
Well, and the Kanye song.
Well, you got to make it rhyme.
Yeah.
You know. You got to. Sometimes you got to. On those Katie Aiello songs that I did, there are certain words you had to. And when Stefan did his, I forgot what the word was, but he had to kind of mispronounce a word in order to make it rhyme.
Yes.
Yeah, he was really good at that.
And he's also famous for a whole new world that they did in Aladdin.
Whole New World.
Whole new world.
Yeah, you're good at that.
I'm inspiring Smitty to sing as well.
Vanessa Williams.
Sounds like we're going to be watching a Disney flick.
He also did Always and Forever. He did The Closer I Get to You with Beyonce.
Is that Luther?
Yeah.
This is going, it's a span right there from the 70s all the way to.
Yeah.
You've fallen off. You went from Woodstock to now you got Manaski and Smitty singing off key in a studio.
One shining moment.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please, big round of applause for your bride and groom. This is their dance. This song, I played at every wedding.
Always and Forever?
No, this is Never Too Much, I think. No, Here and Now. This is Here and Now. Please stop it. Please stop it.
Now we got to hear One Shiny Moment. So.
We'll get to that. All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. We're looking for caller number what, Davey? It's worth $200.
Caller 4.
Caller 4 right now. Do I have to take a break or can I keep flying? What do you want me to do?
Keep going. I'll readjust.
Okay. Caller 4. You're going to readjust. Thank you, Davey. Let's do caller 4 right now. It's your chance to win $200. And I have a surprise. And that includes yesterday's winner as well. You get the fourth caller, Davey. The surprise is one of the contestants of this week's free money question of the day will win tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco at the Turning Stone on Saturday night.
Okay.
On Friday, we will do you guys will do a drawing and get the person's name. One of the contestants this week, win or lose, will get a chance at Maniscalco tickets.
Okay. Smitty, I hope you're saving all the names.
Save them all, good and bad, win and not. Save them all. Who's my caller? Who are we going with? Caller 1?
Are you Sebastian Maniscalco?
I am, and I would have really liked to have gone to the show, but unfortunately, we have a number of commitments that night that I had made. So I'll be all over the county.
Joe has 7 fish fries Saturday night.
Well, that would be a miracle, right?
It would be. It would be. It's over, right? The fish fry season is kind of a yes.
It is.
Oh, nothing. I can't hear myself.
I can hear you.
Oh, it's Wayne.
Wayne? Hey, Wayne. Good morning.
What's up, guys?
Are you a Sebastian Maniscalco fan?
I love him, and I love the Saturday Night Live skits that they do. They're so spot on when he jumps around and he's.
Listen to Manaski's impression.
I don't have it. I need to hear him to do it. I don't have it.
All right, are you ready, Wayne? I have a good one. Now, win or lose here, it would be nice to go to the show with $200, right? But win or lose, you're in the running. So yesterday's contestant, today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's contestant. After that, they'll draw on Friday one winner, and you'll get a pair of tickets for the show, which I think is, if not close, I think it's sold out.
Probably.
And it will be sold out. All right, Wayne, are you ready? You know the deal. You have 7 seconds to answer the question. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. This is a topical question because we've been talking about this person.
You sound like Yacht Rock, right?
Here is Yacht Rock. Here is your question. Rudy Giuliani was on TV as a man with high cholesterol because he ate too much what? Ready, go.
Popcorn? I don't know.
Yeah, too much popcorn.
McDonald's?
Does anybody remember this?
Fat-free yogurt?
It was the yogurt.
Yeah,
You're
it's
absolutely
fat-free
right.
yogurt.
Yeah, that was the ice cream, right? Didn't they do something about that on like Seinfeld?
Seinfeld. This is where it comes from. It says he was on TV as a man with high cholesterol because he ate too much yogurt. Manaski would have won the $200 just like that. All right, Wayne. Listen, we're going to give you movie passes, Glenwood Movieplex and Rome Cinema 8, and stand by. We're going to get your name. You're in the drawing for Saturday night. Okay.
Bill, guess what? They're actually cleaning up the city. I just took my boy to school, and they're cleaning the city up.
Well, it's that time of year, right? You want that to be done. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Wayne with a rare compliment this morning.
Yeah.
On city cleanup. All right, Wayne. Thanks, man.
Later,
Stand by. This is a big grab for the Turning Stone. This guy,
I think it is
huge right now.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
that is.
All right, Senator Joe Griffo is in studio. Manaski wants to lead off here, and he has a pressing question.
We have a couple shameless plugs before I leave, if it's okay. We can do it later. But
Saturday
is a recycling event over at the Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Management Authority headquarters. And
just off on Leland Ave.
On Leland Ave. It's always
they renamed it though. It's something else now, isn't it? Like it's like Waste Boulevard or something.
Probably, yeah. But I still look at it as Leland. But it's a big event, 10 to 2. We'll take any of your electronics, shredding paper while we're there, and also prescriptions. We have DEC there to do that. We have Confidata there for the shredding, and the Solid Waste Authority taking care of the electronics. And then tonight, I know I heard Jeff as I was driving in talking about the citizen preparedness. We know we face a lot of weather issues now and other potential concerns. So if you haven't signed up and you want to come tonight, still opportunities over at Rome City Hall at 6 p.m. tonight, 10 a.m. on Saturday. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
And then Thursday night,
Citron Class. Are you going to be there?
I will be in Buffalo.
Okay. Unfortunately,
he's going to be there.
Our man Davey is
subbing for. You should be officiating, Jeff.
I should.
Okay, so there's a lot going on, and that, by the way, the wheelchair basketball starring our man Davey will be at Utica College's, Utica University's gymnasium. So
always very well attended.
That's Thursday night, 6 o'clock.
And it's facility Leland Avenue extension to Sewage Plant Road is what it's been officially called.
Who'd DePerno end up getting for the SU players? I mean, now most of them are
Bowie and Brandon Trish. JJ Starling had to come out.
I was going to say, with the transfer portal, I saw George last night. Now is going to Pitt.
Yeah,
it's his third school in 3 years. I mean, that's what's ridiculous about the transfer portal.
Free agency, you know, got to get the top buck.
It's ridiculous.
It is, and he said that the lineup for this event has changed like 3 or 4 times because it just keeps changing because the players end up going into the.
I thought that's why you were going. I thought you were going to a different event or something.
I'm doing the big checkup. It's always a biggie.
Well, good luck to you.
Okay, so Manasseh's big question is nobody seems to be talking about why this budget is late.
Well, the problem I have with the lateness, like tomorrow is tax day, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm not going to pay my taxes, even though that's the deadline. And yet here at the state, this seems to be a common thread now, particularly under this governor over the last 5 years. And it's been proven. Some people say, well, that sounds partisan. It's not partisan because when her predecessor, Governor Cuomo, was there, under divided government, he got the budgets done on time. So he's demonstrated that it can be done, even with some very difficult issues to address and to solve and reach compromise or consensus. Over the last 5 years, there seems to be a lack of urgency. Now, one of the major reasons that budgets are late are because you put policy into the document.
Right.
That's understandable from a perspective that the executive has the upper hand here in the budget process. So every governor is going to try to do that. But I think it's wrong because that's where the changes to bail came in through the budget.
Yeah.
So that's what's holding the budget up again. It's the policy decisions. What makes it more remarkable, though, is that you have one-party control. And the Democrat majority's asked for this, saying, if you put us in charge, we'll show you how we can do things flawlessly, and it'll be done, on time and good. That's the great line I get. Better a late budget that's good than a bad budget on time. Well, why don't you get a good budget done on time? That's your responsibility. I'm a former local government official. Didn't have an opportunity to blow deadlines on budgets. They had to be done on time and balanced. State, my concern is this lack of urgency. Like, we've been there, but nothing is happening. Actually, it's a cost to the taxpayer when you keep the legislature there when they're not supposed to be there, and nothing is happening.
Yeah.
And so the issues that are holding this up, and there's a lack of transparency, obviously, because I don't know where that one, if you remember in the old days, they would be saying, I can't believe I'm saying it like that, they would be talking about 3 men in a room. Now it's
Right,
3
right.
people in a room because you've got Andrea Stewart Cousins there. You don't hear any of that right now.
Well, and the governor's female also.
Right,
of course,
exactly. But the point is, it would be like 2 girls and a dude now, right? It'd be like a whole new TV show, possibly.
It's Three's Company.
But there you go. But it's that's very good. But the problem is, even the press, you don't hear them saying, have you had meetings? What are you talking about? The issues that I have gathered that are probably the stumbling blocks right now are the environmental changes that the governor wants to make, which we have been advocating for, like the unrealistic and unreasonable deadlines to meet the clean energy agenda. I mean, who's against clean air and clean water, right? But the point is, how do you get there? And then
and if you're going to make sacrifices and spend money, it better work.
Right. And the second, and the electric school bus mandate is an illustration of that.
Which is a debacle.
It's a total debacle. It's unreliable and it's unaffordable. And the hypocrisy of that.
How much do they want to give?
Right. There's $500 million to help them buy
That's
the buses.
wonderful. But
And the actual cost is $10 billion plus.
Probably well over $10 billion.
Right. So
especially with the latest pricing right now.
That's the hypocrisy, too, that people just say, what do you, like when we're on a debate in the floor, I actually have the chairman of the Environmental Conservation Committee on the majority side stand up and say, you're wrong, there's money for this. And then we go back and say, yeah, but there's $500 million for a price tag of $10 billion. It's outrageous. You're and then the other 2 issues that I could gather right now would be auto insurance, which obviously I think everybody wants to see those rates down.
Well, I did not realize the fraud until we had Utica National in. And the fact that, and what is the fraud? It's this group of people that are doing fake accidents and then getting usually immigrants to have back operations when they don't need it. And there's millions of dollars being stolen from insurance companies.
And the battle there is between the insurance industry and the trial lawyers.
Yeah.
But there's culpability on both sides, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So when you have the insurance industry in
understand.
here telling you how good they are, it's like...
I understand, but the fact that we pay $2,000 more than the rest of the country...
You're right.
For auto insurance
and then
is really
the final
terrible.
issue could be the environmental review process, which we call seeker, which obviously needs to be improved. So it's easier for people to build with, obviously, in my opinion, certain restrictions because you just can't just go do anything you want, wherever you want, whenever you want.
Right. Yeah.
But I think the impetus for the governor is on housing. And to me, it should be everything. And it could potentially involve everything. But I think those are some of the major stumbling points from my perspective.
And the interesting part is these are the 2 factions of the Democratic Party that are arguing against each other.
Correct.
Michigan State, Kathy for Joe. If you want to grab those headphones right there. Kathy, you're on with the senator. Good morning.
Plug those ones in.
Good morning to everybody. Joe, I have to tell you, I mentioned this to Bill before, but a couple weeks ago, I got a $41,000 bill for Easy Pass, and I should only owe maybe $30. I think that's terrible. They're quick to take money out of your credit account, turns your bill and everything. But
Okay, Kathy, for a second, I'll have to have you repeat that. I thought I misheard you. I thought you said $41,000 bill.
Yes, I got a $41,000. My husband got a $41,000 bill from Easy Pass.
Joe, this is the biggest case. Yeah. This is your big one right here in your own backyard.
Well, Kathy, where do you live?
Rome.
I'm here in Rome.
Okay, so you can give my office a call, 315-793-9072, and Deanna will be there. I'm on the road today, but Deanna will be there, and she can begin to look into that for you.
Deanna's really good.
But on a larger scale, in the issue itself, you're right, and I've had several meetings with the Thruway Authority. In fact, I had them in my office, I think a week ago, talking to the executive director and some of their senior staff about some of these problems that continue to plague people, despite the fact that they said that the system was working and getting better. It's not. It needs to be changed. It needs to be addressed. And I think they're starting to see this now. When we went to the tollless, the gantries and things of that nature, from my perspective, we have a number of issues. Number one, the bill is impossible to read because it reads you at different points, and you may not get the same point at your statement. Like statement one may give you something, and then you get statement two, and it's a different thing. And it may be accurate because it shows you your path on the thruway. The problem is it read it at different times and things of that nature. So the bill needs to be easier to understand and read and understand.
I mean, my husband had called Easy Pass. They said they would take care of it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a while. We're going to have to. But if we have still had a problem, we'll definitely call your office.
No, call my office.
Yeah, because he wants a picture of your bill.
793. Yeah, I would love to have that example to show them, too, if you don't mind. So if you call 793-9072, ask for Deanna, and we'll look into this for you, and she can resolve it and address it. They have been, to their credit, the Thruway Authority has been good when we've brought things to their attention. The problem is we should not be doing this continually.
Yeah.
People should not be getting these type of ridiculous bills.
All right, Kathy, thank you.
With overcharges.
She was done with you. Kathy, it is important, though, to make sure you let them see your bill, because this is a great example of
helps me, right?
Yeah.
And so that is, and we're going to be talking about this in the near future. I'm going to actually be proposing something, and we'll talk about this in a couple of weeks, about a return to maybe the way it used to be, so that we can, when you have something that's not working and you're trying to fix it and it continues not to work, there's not a lot of companies that are involved in this business doing the electronic reading.
Yeah.
So look, we're in the 21st century. I think we can figure out a way to do this where people aren't being harassed regularly.
Call Joe Griffo's office. They'll put you on a payment plan. You'll have this thing paid off in a good couple of decades. So, 20. What did she say? How much?
41,000.
Unbelievable. All right, stand by. We'll hit you on the other side. Also, Mayor Lanigan is coming in. They just got a little chunk of change from the state, and that's coming up.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
As Congress comes back, 2 lawmakers will go away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
People who are in positions of power and authority over others need to be held accountable when they take advantage of that position.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, after fellow Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell announced he'd resign.
And frankly, I'm glad that he'll be gone.
While Swalwell is accused of sexual misconduct by 4 women, one alleges rape, which he calls a false allegation he'll fight.
And another shakeup just hours after Swalwell's announcement, Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez announced he's quitting Congress early. The third-term Republican lawmaker is accused of having a coercive sexual relationship with a staff member who later killed herself.
Fox's Alex Hogan. There are reports the U.S. and Iran could hold another round of talks soon. Vice President Vance, who led the weekend negotiations, tells Fox the ball's in Iran's court as the U.S. keeps demanding no nuclear weapons or uranium enrichment.
We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on.
It's day 2 of the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, and Fox's Matt Finn reports from Dubai.
A Chinese-owned ship passed through the Strait of Hormuz today. It's an oil and chemicals tanker that was turned back yesterday, the first day of the blockade, but got through today with success. Now, this tracks with what the president and CENTCOM is saying, which is that the entire Persian Gulf is not blocked. Rather, the U.S. is preventing ships from entering or exiting Iranian ports.
President Trump's warned any Iranian boats threatening the blockade will be eliminated, like the drug boats off the South American coast. Another one blown up yesterday.
In a post on X, Southern Command saying, quote, intelligence confirmed the vessel was transiting along known narco-trafficking routes and was engaged in narco-trafficking operations. There have been over 50 strikes on drug smuggling boats since the start of President Trump's second term, with over 170 people killed.
That's Carly Shimkus. America's listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Trump Justice Department continues to put the Biden administration under scrutiny, alleging some prosecutions of pro-life activists were biased.
The DOJ report looks into Biden-era prosecutions under the FACE Act, a 1994 law meant to protect access to abortion providers and religious institutions. It accuses prosecutors of treating anti-abortion activist cases more aggressively and requesting longer prison sentences, 26.8 months on average compared to 12.3 months for abortion rights activists. At least 4 prosecutors who worked on the cases were fired Monday. President Trump pardoned 23 convicted pro-lifers on his 3rd day back in office last year. Chris Foster, Fox News.
An American is free again in the Bahamas. Brian Hooker released from custody last night after his arrest last week in the disappearance of his wife, Lynette. Hooker's lawyer, Terrell Butler, says,
When he came out, he was emotional. He was speaking to a family member. And so I'm just trying to get him somewhere where he could relax and de-stress from this horrible experience.
He has not been charged with a crime. After questioning, Hooker claims that she fell from their small boat in rough seas as they traveled back to their yacht at night. Her body's not been found. Disgraced former movie producer Harvey Weinstein is going on trial again, accused of another sexual assault.
Jury selection is expected to begin today in another trial of Harvey Weinstein, the 73-year-old accused of third-degree rape of an aspiring actress in a New York City hotel room in 2013. At a hearing in January, Weinstein, who was in a wheelchair, denied the allegations, saying he never assaulted anyone and that his spirit was breaking. After nearly 6 years in prison, following 2 previous convictions of rape in New York and California, Weinstein's latest trial in New York City is expected to last around 6 weeks. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up more than 100 points for the NASDAQ the day after more rebound gains as the price of oil drops more than 1%. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 56 degrees and dry right now. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. 3 teenagers facing charges after being accused of making a serious threat. Oneida County Sheriff's deputies say a 14-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, and a 13-year-old boy are charged in connection with what's being called a credible mass shooting threat directed toward Clinton Middle School. That threat mentioned a shooting that was going to take place this week in the building's cafeteria. Authorities say 11 weapons were taken from the boys' home, and the suspects had the means to carry out their plan. If you're struggling to put food on the table, you can get help from the Johnson Park Center in Utica this week. The first of 2 food distribution events is happening today. It's scheduled from 3 to 6 p.m., and the second is Friday. It runs from 9 a.m. to 1. Among the items available, fish, venison, fruits, vegetables, and boxed goods. First-time visitors are welcome, but they need to bring a form of government ID with them, like a driver's license or a social security card. 2 corrections officers who were hospitalized after being exposed to an unknown substance at Mohawk Correctional Facility earlier this month have now been released from the hospital. The State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision says the hospitalizations occurred after the staff members intercepted papers that were soaked in an unknown substance brought in by a visitor on April 8th. That visitor now facing a misdemeanor charge. 3 corrections officers and 2 National Guard members experienced symptoms, and again, the substance remains unknown. State Senator Joe Griffo, who joins us in studio now, is also holding an event tonight in the city of Rome. It's a free emergency preparedness training program. It's held in conjunction with the New York State Citizen Preparedness Corps, New York National Guard, Division of Homeland Security, and Emergency Services, along with the city of Rome. It begins at 6 o'clock tonight in the Common Council chambers at Rome City Hall. The course will provide an introduction to responding to a natural or man-made disaster. Participants will be advised on how to prepare, including developing a family emergency plan and stocking up on emergency supplies. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
That's sort of good news, bad news. We do have showers, thunder showers in the forecast. I guess that's the bad news, but the good there is that not expecting any widespread severe weather. I mean, there might be a stronger storm or two between tonight and tomorrow, but for the most part, it looks like we should stay sub-severe. Might get a shower this morning, maybe a thunder shower, a little better chance this afternoon. Heads up, could be some fog also early. 75 later. Likely showers and thunderstorms tonight, especially early. Near 60, scattered showers, thunderstorms around tomorrow. 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 56 at 8:08. Bill, the NBA playoffs kick off tonight. The play-in tournament tips with the Heat and Hornets in a battle for the East's 8th seed. The winner will square off against the 76ers or the Magic for a chance to tangle with the top-seeded Pistons in round 1. Out west, the Suns duel with the Trailblazers from the desert in a showdown for the 7th seed. The prize for that contest is a date with Victor Wembanyama and the second-seeded Spurs in the opening round. The Lakers receiving some positive news regarding superstar guard Luka Doncic in returning to the city on Friday after spending last week in Spain. Doncic reportedly received multiple injections for his grade 2 left hamstring strain, but the team is yet to provide a timeline for his return to the lineup. The 27-year-old averages 33.5 points through 64 games played during the regular season. It's almost time for the NHL playoffs. The Sabres skated to a 5-1 victory last night. They have the top seed in the East, 108 points. The NHL playoffs begin on Saturday. The Mets were shut out again, the third time in their last 4 games. They lost 4-0 in the series opener against the Dodgers last night in Los Angeles. David Peterson took the loss. The Mets win a losing streak. Now it's 6 games. The Yankees snapped their 5-game skid as they got a walk-off win, 11-10 last night against the Angels in the Bronx. Trent Grisham had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game. He had 2 homers on the night. The Yankees continue their 4-game series with the Angels coming up later tonight.
Today is National Pecan Day.
Okay.
So
why do I think of a toucan? A pecan. Oh, a nut.
A nut, the nut, pecan. So the question is it pronounced pecan?
Or pecan?
Or pecan?
Roof or roof?
Roof or roof?
Yeah, I think so.
My feeling is if your roofer calls it a roof, make sure he has insurance. That's all I'm saying. Pecan or pecan. So they say in the northeast and Midwest, it's called pecan. We call it pecan. But if you're in the South, it's pecan.
Yeah.
And
pecan pie.
And if it's a pecan pie, it's a pecan pie. If it's made in the South, that's a kind of a Southern dish. So
Are you going to the Caribbean or the Caribbean?
That one, I feel
Ask
like
Billy Ocean.
It's either one, yeah. Yeah, and again, he had to sing it so that it rhymed, right? All right, you wanted to hit some other things before we get to the mayor, I know.
Yeah, a couple of things. I know Jeff talked about this in the news, too, with the situation at the Department of Corrections. What we had there, and we've been talking, I've spoken directly to the commissioner, and there have been improvements made on contraband coming into the facilities, but we've got to do better. When you see what happened here, now you have medical staff that are being subjected to this, because one of these was a nurse that was put into the hospital and intubated. This is unacceptable. And the charges that were levied, and I understand that there's an ongoing investigation. I've spoken to the DA, I've spoken to the state police, but I think the charges right now at the misdemeanor charges we've got to look at something, upping them to either reckless endangerment, assault 2, and you've got to have more serious consequences when people undertake these kind of activities. Illustrated yesterday with the threat at Clinton Middle School, and I compliment the Sheriff's Department and all those who are involved right now in making those arrests. We've had a bill, Assemblywoman Buttonshine and I have put a bill in, it's Senate Bill 722, that establishes the crime of making a threat of mass violence. That's another thing that's happening all too often now, where people think it's okay to do this, and there's got to be a serious consequence regardless of their age. And that's why raise the age is a problem in many instances right now, because there's not this serious consequence to this type of behavior. And yes, there may be mental health issues that have to be addressed and dealt with, but equally important, in my opinion, is a significant and severe consequence to this type of bad behavior, which is putting other people's lives at risk.
And I think in this case, at Clinton, you're going to see, depending on what comes out of the mental health examinations, you probably will see some more serious charges. But these are 13-year-olds. Right. It's just beyond me that whatever happened to, I'm going to meet you out in the park and we're going at it. Where I'm going to, and let me tell you, there was when I was in high school, there were some pretty tough girl fights. That's how problems were resolved. Today, somehow, we've reached a point where it's go look for the guns in the house and we're going to plan a shooting. I mean, that's unbelievable to think that exists today.
Absolutely, and that's why there's a lot of ways that you have to look at that.
It's got to be a consequence,
a serious and severe consequence. We also have to look at mental health pre-checking now, because we know we have a lot more issues in society. So there's a lot of things we can do. We have to harden the schools and provide them the resources they need to make sure they're as safe as possible. So a lot of things. People say, well, we shouldn't have to do that. Well, we have to do that in order to protect people right now. And we can continue to deal with the societal issues and challenges in different ways. But that's just part of it, and some of the things that we want.
In all of these cases, almost all of these cases, what is the cause? Any of these school shootings where kids are shooting up their fellow students, it's almost always bullying. Right. But even the bullying was handled differently years ago. Today,
that was the essence of Columbine when this began.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it was. They were loners, they were bullied, but there's got to be signs here too that people can see, and some of it is even at the home too. And you're seeing now in some cases where they're holding parents accountable too, where there's firearms and things of that nature.
How about in this case? It was a parent going through their kids' social media, which, if you're not doing that, and 13-year-old, I mean, they're on social. I'm not sure they even be on social media at this point. And if it wasn't for that parent going through and discovering this, we may have been dealing with a press conference about the shooting.
And I think we're at work, and we have the mayor's a former law enforcement officer, so he understands some of this too and sees it from perspective.
So I'll ask you, Mayor Lanigan, how have we gone to this point? How have we gotten to this point? I mean, everybody has a quick answer. It's like, well, it's video games, or it's poor parenting, or how have we gotten here?
I think part of it is kind of what you discussed earlier, Joe, is there's no repercussions for the smaller offenses. And I went to Albany and spoke about this, saying that the problem I see as a former law enforcement with Raise the Age is these kids aren't held accountable for the minor offenses, and then the next thing you see is them sitting in court crying because they murdered somebody, and now their life's over. And what I said in Albany was that that's our responsibility as lawmakers, as adults, is to hold these kids accountable so they're not sitting there. The other side of that, I think, is social media. I mean, when we were in school, you got picked on in fourth period, and by sixth period, it was over.
Yeah.
Now it's you go home and it's on social media, and who's getting the text, or who's posting something about a kid or sending a Snapchat.
Yep.
Now these kids are living it 24/7. And I think that's a major issue with the social media
they are.
side.
They really are. I mean, you get home, the bullying continues when you're home.
They don't get a break.
There's no safe place.
Yep.
And maybe that is the difference.
Yep.
It's and I also think that in some households, the social media, the phone is the thing that keeps the kids from bothering you. You don't have to deal with them. So yeah, you can have the phone. Just let me watch TV.
Yeah, let me have my quiet.
Yeah,
and doom scroll on my phone.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's hard to be a parent. It's hard to have these rules and have your kid upset with you over it. That's not an easy thing.
And that's why I think these are all contributing factors. It's society today.
Yeah, there's
it's
not one. There's probably not one
it's
thing.
Parental involvement. It is, the lack of consequences. When you put it all together, you see where the problem is, and that's why we've got to do a better job, not only identifying, but then addressing.
But how about the parent who actually was doing the right thing and then followed through and saved lives? I mean, that's incredible. Anything else you want to hit on? I know there's a couple of other.
Can I just ask quick? I want to talk about the docs thing quick. Are you surprised? It is surprising that it's only a misdemeanor charge because obviously, as you said, there was some serious injury. Someone was intubated. I didn't know that. Are you surprised they still don't know what the substance is?
Yeah. And I mean, they're going through the labs, and I was going to make a call today to say, do we have any updates? They may have it, and we're not aware of it. But when I had conversations with law enforcement as well as the Department of Corrections, they were still evaluating, and then determinations were made accordingly. But to me, the consequence there should not only be for the individual that's bringing the contraband in, this lady who had prior arrests. So this is another example of somebody who's got a history of problems and continues to just violate the law. And then secondly, though, there should be another consequence for the person that's incarcerated. Because whoever that material, that drug was going to be given to, that person should now have time added to their sentence, in my opinion. So there's an additional consequence to them seeking out and acquiring this substance. Yeah. So, look, we got to do more. I mean, we should have drug sniffing dogs at every facility potentially. Now, there's a cost involved in that. There's things they have made some improvements at the Department of Corrections and trying to prevent the contraband. It's not going to be perfect, but they've done better, but we've got to continue to do more. And there are things that we can do relative to screening, things of that nature. For instance, we could have mandatory screening. Right now, it's optional to a certain extent. So there are things that we should consider, but again, we have a difference of ideology in Albany. That's the problem. Right now, those who are in charge see the world differently. The chairwoman of the Corrections Committee of the Senate believes that prisons should be closed, that we don't need prisons. So it becomes this ideological divide right now. And where I stand is that we just got to look at this from a common sense perspective, apply logic, and say, there's got to be a balance here, right? Yeah. And you have a problem in society, you address it and deal with it.
There's the other part of this too, that the Pope is really not tough on crime, and I think that could be playing a role here.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you something. That's a whole different area. But when you have these three cardinals on 60 Minutes the other day, they were off too. I mean, when you listen to these three guys, because again, that's where people start asking questions. I mean,
we agree the comments about the Pope are not good by the president.
Correct.
We can agree with that, right?
Do we also agree he's not Jesus?
And he's not Jesus.
It's deplorable.
He was a doctor.
It's
he was a
disappointing
doctor.
and deplorable. But on the other hand, the Pope also has an obligation. Mr. Prevost has an obligation, too, to say if abortion is wrong, you don't then go and honor a guy like Dick Durbin, who's a promoter of abortion, right? So that's why people begin to say, what does the church stand for? I mean, are you pro-life or not? I mean, so the Pope was stumbling the other day trying to explain how they can give a great award to this guy who's been a great advocate for abortion. Now, that's not even saying that you don't have to have an opinion, pro-choice, pro-life, pro-choice. I get it. But my point is that's where people get confused after, right? And here's a place where you had so many atrocities committed, against young people, too. And yet the church is growing.
Well.
When Jesus ascended, he said, beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up.
You sound like Al Sharpton now.
Back, though.
Is that an Al Sharpton impression?
No, my Trump's really all over the place.
Oh, all right.
Back to the Trump thing. Again, we have other things to worry about. Lay off the Pope. Come on. What are we doing here?
Rocky says all 12 George Pataki budgets were late, including the all-time record in 2004, which was 5 months late.
You know, he's right. I said that. I tried to demonstrate how it could and should be done.
You actually complimented the Democrat.
I did, Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah.
And he had divided government. So, and that's under Pataki the same thing. There he had divided government. You had a Republican governor, a Republican Senate, but a Democrat assembly led by Sheldon Silver. So it made it a little tougher because now, remember, they said, give us everything and we'll show you how it can be done. They've had everything for 8 years, and the last 5 under this governor can't produce a on-time budget. I mean, the facts are the facts. So it's not political here. It's the fact that...
You know what I think is really going on, and you tell me if I'm absolutely wrong. The governor's trying to move back towards the middle to appease this upcoming election, and it ain't sitting well with the progressives. That's what's happening.
That's a pretty good analysis, and you're right. I mean, it's an election year, so you're seeing this moderation.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's logical again, too, and we'll go back to the electric school buses. They're unreliable and unaffordable. So at some point, you've got to accept that and say, look, we don't have to abandon. Again, I'm not opposed to a clean energy agenda. I'm the former chair of the Energy Committee. I just believe in a diversified energy portfolio where we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. They disagree. They want to just say it's all going to be solar and wind, and I just think you have to look at everything.
This is also a good example of this current state government moving forward on bail issues and on prison issues without consulting police, district attorneys, without consulting the unions that represent corrections officers. Here we go, without moving on this bus issue, without consulting the experts. Even National Grid says it can't be done. How about the schools who are telling you we can't do it, we can't afford it? And here are the reasons why. But again, we're passing legislation without consulting the people who are on the ground.
And we talked about, you're totally right, and that's something that is got to be done differently. And I've continued to say that in Albany. If it's in education, you should talk to teachers and administrators. If it's in law enforcement, talk to DAs and law enforcement officers and even criminal defense attorneys. Get everybody's perspective on the ground. But you got to approach these things logically, and that's what's missing now. It's become ideologically as opposed to logic.
Anything else you want to hit?
We'll want to congratulate. I can stay. I can congratulate the mayor and his team on the award. That's a significant accomplishment, considering they're the first that has gone a second time. And I know we've had conversations with the governor. The mayor's put me to work over there in Albany, and hopefully that helped, as well as an outstanding application by the city and led by the mayor and his team.
$10 million. That's you actually have people saying, how come Rome got more than Utica? So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
So where does the money go? What are you going to use the money for?
This application we put down in what we call the downtown BOA waterfront, which is starting kind of over Bellamy Harbor Park, and then it flows into our East Rome and goes as far as actually Staley, the old school that got flooded out over there. We incorporated that area, so when the school district gets done with what they're going to do with that facility, we can get some development over there and get something done with that property instead of the eyesore that it's been for 6-7 years. So that whole kind of corridor over there, stemming East Dominic Street from St. John's Church east, going towards DiMattio's and all in that area.
So it is a nice it's a nice boost to be able to to spend the money. But again, this all really goes, and Joe knows this, the importance of putting the plan together, and it's got to be convincing.
Yes, and that was kind of when I ran on it. As far as I've always said, Bellamy Harbor Park was a hidden gem in Rome. I love it over there. It's beautiful. There's been a lot of work done over there, not just in my administration, but the previous administrations. Probably dating all the way back to Joe. Done a great job with beautifying that park, and it's just something that we never took advantage of. So I kind of ran on that we wanted to do that, and then when I came into office, I brought 4th of July fireworks back. We had it over at Bellamy Harbor Park. We've had several concerts over there, just trying to take advantage of that. So when the DRI came up, and my team came to me and said, listen, what do you want to focus on? I said, let's focus on the waterfront. Let's see what we can do, come up with some ideas and some plans for that, and put an application together, and let's take advantage of this. There's so many communities along the canal that do it. I'm a boater, so I'm out there and I see it, and these communities take such advantage of that waterfront, and we just didn't do it. So now we're going to be able to.
I got to hope to hop a ride on the mayor's boat.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the one thing that we travel for, right? We're always traveling for water, warmer water, and then when we do get the warm weather, we have water, and we should be taking advantage of that.
100%.
And that's been a great vision. Originally, that's how it started when we identified the waterfront and named it Bellamy Park, because I changed the name of the old Bellamy Park downtown at the time to Veterans Park, because that's where all the veterans activities were. And we actually opened up Harbor Way, that road, that we created a road that brings it that way. So it's good to see what we started now, that this vision has really come to reality. And the mayor and his team have done a remarkable job, because now there's just a lot of things. It's a place that you at one time hoped it would become, and it now is.
All right.
So the $10 million, you talked about this vision of connecting these places and a more vibrant downtown. So essentially the money will make like pedestrian walkways that allow this, or talk how, where that would be spent.
So it's kind of the way the DRI works is you create your vision of what you want to do, and then you put all these projects out there. And we had somewhere in the realm of 30 to 40 projects that we came up with and threw out there to say that this is what we want to do. We want to take our waterfront, we want to connect it to East Dominic Street, we want to be able to make eventually that East Dominic connect to West Dominic and make a whole walking, vibrant downtown. So we use those, whether it's putting that money towards commercial buildings, residential, or like you said, connecting, working on walkways, fixing roads. We also have in there a program for residential rehabs, so people will be able to apply to get assistance for their housing. There's a large residential area over there, and then also small businesses, small business venture where you're going to be able to apply to get some money to, whether it's fix up your business or expand your business. And then it's bringing in the developers. It's that whole waterfront area. We've dubbed it Copper City Center, which we're hoping that that's going to be a residential, commercial, recreation area. It's connected to, we already have $2 million towards the brewery project over there on the waterfront. That whole area connects right to that project. So it's complete, the brewery project in conjunction with bringing some residential, some commercial space down there. And then, yes, beautifying that area. It's all part of the plan. All those ideas, I brought it with me if you guys want to see. All those ideas that we put together doesn't mean they're all going to come to fruition.
Right.
We work with the state. We come up with what is going to be the most impacted on our community, and we break it down to what we're going to come up with as far as the projects will be. And then bring it
and listen, with this money, around the state, there's history of local governments spend money a certain way, and it becomes a problem down the road. I'm assuming you've seen that. You want to make sure that's not something that happens in Rome.
Absolutely. And being we are the first community to receive a second DRI in the state. So my team that I have now has been through it before. The first DRI was very successful. The Capitol Theater being one of those projects, City Hall being another, the Copper City Lofts that are across the street, the residential facility there. Those were all very good projects for our community, and it was able to make an impact right there on the West Dominic Street corridor. So my team is ready. They've been through this already. They've kind of been briefing me of how the process goes now, from awarded the DRI to now the real work starts. So it's definitely an advantage to have it as a second round, because we've already been through the hiccups kind of.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything else you have? Is Davey, are you out there? Phones are ringing. Well, it's not anymore. Okay. I did want to bring up anything else you have, Joe?
No.
Okay. I did want to bring up a Rome for two things. We were in Rome the other night for dinner, and my wife was like, when you're thinking about where you're going to go to dinner, and you live in New Hartford, or you live in Utica, or even in the Valley, Rome is a quick trip. I still think you could still put a throughway exit somewhere. Come on.
Well,
and make it easy.
That is one of the proposals we've had, is with the new kind of ability to do this, like with Easy Pass and everything, despite the challenges that come with that, is two areas that we looked at was an exit in Rome and South Rome, near where the correctional facility is, because the something looked at a long time ago there. Actually never made sense why Rome was bypassed. When you consider Syracuse has 5 exits going to
and
Syracuse.
some rural exits, too.
Right,
I mean,
exactly. And the other would be right here in Marcy, too, over because of the quad there, the SUNY, Poly, and everything else. So we looked at, could you expand a throughway? And that's something we have been asking that they look at, examine, and consider. But at this time, they're not looking at expansion and off ramps. But that's something for the future potentially.
I did want to bring up also. So remember, think about Rome. There are a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great places to shop, and I think we oftentimes forget here, and that's something you would benefit by remembering. And then I have tell Mayor Lanigan not to leave. I have video of the DRI for him. Meet me in the parking lot. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, that's Paul.
Was that Buckley?
Sweetheart. All right, but I do want to bring up a sad moment, and it is, and it goes back to even Woodstock, and that's Bill Howard. Bill was a very talented artist when it came to wood burning, and he recently lost his battle with cancer. In fact, his big piece that only Jewel didn't sign, the only artist that did not sign that piece from Woodstock, is hanging in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And I know you guys, at least you, Joe.
I grew up with Billy, and I didn't actually, because I've been in Albany and everything, you actually made me aware. I didn't realize that he had passed, and my condolences to Julie and the family. Just great family, great guy. I knew when he got diagnosed, we had talked and gave him a special medal that we'd share with people from the church. And, he really was courageous in his battle and everything. So it's sad that sad news, and our condolences to Julie and the family.
And again, that somebody brought up the idea this morning that maybe Jewel should sign it, but I'm not sure you'll ever get her to. She was pretty afraid during her time at Woodstock. They were throwing things at her.
Joe, were you one of them? Yeah.
I
don't think he remembers much of Woodstock.
I didn't go out with Jewel. No, I didn't. Time, so.
All right. Sorry to bring
up
Alanis
Morissette, maybe.
Yeah.
John in Deerfield, legislators and executives should not be paid if the budget is late. No retro pay either. Every day the budget is late should be unpaid. Your thoughts?
So, it happens, John. So a lot of people don't realize that. And this was actually a Governor Pataki thing, which is amazing historically, that somehow when they had those late budgets that somebody was talking about, one of your previous callers, they came up with this idea that the legislature, and the legislature agreed to it back then, they wouldn't get paid. But the governor still gets paid. So right now, as part of law, as of April 1st, when there's no budget, no legislator gets paid. In fact, I do agree with it, and I think it's something we should see in the federal government, too, because they can't seem to get things done there. So there's a consequence. The only thing I would change differently is the executive should be held to the same standard as the legislature. So in this case, the governor's being paid, all the staff's being paid, and they should be, because they're doing a job, an important job. But the electeds should be all the electeds probably should not be paid at this point in time, so that there would be a consequence to this kind of
You'll get it back though, right?
Yes, they do. Yeah, but I mean they freeze it so they don't get paid, which is what the caller had indicated. Yes. You're not getting paid because you can't get the job done, and I agree with that. And it is the case right now for the legislature. I would just expand it to the executive as well.
All right, Mayor and former Mayor, Senator, thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure to be with you. And wait a minute, one last thing.
Oh, nice.
So we do have we finally got it all done for you, but again, there's no budget nominee, so they couldn't put it in a frame for you. But hopefully Town Square can afford that.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
You never know, right?
It might cost me my job if they have to buy a frame, Joe.
Well, that's an interesting thing. We talked about how radio's changed too, right? It's so good to have you guys on live, and then you look at some of the other studios, and they're all automated right now. And I think when you see the changes in technology, society, I love live radio. And it's a sad thing if we start losing that and we go to automation and we're hearing somebody from Dallas or something like that right now. But
preaching to the
on
choir.
behalf of the state Senate and the state Assembly. Here's the official resolution commemorating the centennial of WIBX.
Pretty wild. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I want to thank Alex as well in your office. I'm going to scan that for typos. I hope I don't find any, Alex.
Alex never.
I know he
doesn't. Actually, this wouldn't be Alex.
Oh, no?
This is being done in Albany, actually, at the bill drafting and the legislative resolution desk. So Alex would put it up there, but if there's a mistake, it's them, not Alex.
Came from Albany.
100 years. Pretty wild.
100 years.
Right?
Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it greatly.
Thank you, guys.
Listen, people of all ages experience levels of discomfort in the knees and the back and all of that. It's pain, and you can get rid of it. It could very well be caused by your walk, the step. And the Good Feet store enters the equation, and for many, it has just changed their lives, quality of life. There's a free, no obligation, personalized fitting. You just walk in, no appointment is needed. And these are inserts that go in your shoes or shoes that you would purchase through them. You can use your own as well. It's all the Good Feet store. Walk right in without an appointment. 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. It's the Good Feet store. Another way of getting rid of pain is purchasing tickets to see Jim Brewer coming up at the Stanley Theater. Laughter, they say, is the best medicine. And I will tell you, you'll never laugh harder than you will watching and hearing the stories of Jim Brewer. Jim, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
I don't know how we're able to laugh, though, with 6 straight losses, no offense whatsoever, no chemistry. What is going on with the Mets?
Oh, this baseball. You're 2 weeks in, and then all of a sudden, Juan Soto comes off the IL, and he has his MVP month, and oh, wow, right by the All-Star break, they have some life, and then they make some changes, and then this guy comes, and then they make a run, and we all go, oh, wow, we're going to make it back again like we did a couple of years ago. And then, playoffs come and we lose it. So it's the same thing.
Well, listen,
Same movie, yep.
Well, it is 2026, and the last time we won the World Series, there was a 6. 86.
That's right. There you go.
So
you're that guy. You're that Met fan.
That's me.
I was there. Like, well, if you think about it, 20 years, now it's, 16, and that equals,
Yeah, I know.
No one knows anything. I
know. Well, listen,
so entertaining.
Your Find the Funny tour is hitting theaters across the country, and you'll not find a more beautiful theater than the Stanley, and we're so excited. It actually is a week from this Sunday, and there are still some great seats you can get. What's on your list of big topics right now that you're talking about?
Everything we can relate about. I tap dance around any of the noise going out there. Because there's enough of it every day.
Yeah.
Did you hear we're at war? Yeah. Did you know that I'm not going to touch any of that.
Yeah.
We are going to... Everyone's got very simple issues going on in their life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hit each one of them. Hey, man, I'm 58. I walk in a room, and I don't even know why I'm standing in there half the time. And I'm like, but I knew what I was doing before I walked in there.
Yeah.
I mean, just 10 minutes ago, I'm like, oh, my pants are falling. I walked in my room, and then I was like, what am I doing in here? And then I had to leave the room and then walk around and go, oh, shoot, my pants are falling. That's right, I was getting a belt. And that process went 3 times before I hopped on this phone. So,
oh, man.
So there's plenty of everyday life that I've been finding, and the show changes over. There's some family, there's a lot of self-deprecation. Yeah, it's typical Brewer, long story form, off-tangent, going nutso stories. And people, I'm always fascinated when they come see me, that have not come see me, go, wow, he was clean the whole show.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize I'm a clean act until after they leave. And they're like, shoot, I should have brought my I should have brought my teenagers. I should have brought mom. I should have brought my aunt. I should have brought... Bring them all. Bring them all. It's a safe haven.
It is, and it's so interesting because I don't see you as a clean act.
No, I know. A lot of people don't.
There's something weird about that, and I don't know how you pull that off. But you're right. You're walking out, and you're like, that was pretty clean. I can't believe that. Hilariously funny to the point where it's gut-wrenching funny. It's just a great, great show.
Well, that's my mission too. I don't like just making you laugh. I want to kill you. I really want to hurt you. I don't. That is my mission every show. I want you to have a headache for 3 days later. The best headache you ever had. I want your stomach to hurt. I get off when I see people barreled over. I don't like giggles. I don't like singles and doubles. I like them, but I want that. Oh, 3 home runs in a row, and he just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I want the home run derby.
Yeah.
And the ball, that's what I do, and that's what I love doing.
You know, I do want to ask you real quick about family for a second, but you reminded me of something. Bill, you and I saw Jim at Turning Stone.
Yes.
And that was one of those, like, we were 5 minutes into the show, and Jim, I don't know, you probably
crying.
do so many shows. Yeah, I was in tears. The Yankees had just gotten Aaron Judge, and you walked around on the stage doing your Aaron Judge impression, which was just absolutely hilarious. And being a Mets fan, I mean, we were 5 minutes into the show, and my face, my cheeks just hurt. I said I wanted to ask you about your family. I know you said you're 58. You're the youngest, I think, by far of your siblings, right? They're quite a bit older than you.
Yeah, the closest one to me now is 12 years old. 12 years older. Then one after that is 16 years older. So, yeah, they're all pushing mid-70s and 70s. So
I would imagine they're struggling with the same issues that you have about forgetting things, going into other rooms. And yeah,
there's a little bit of that. I mean, my oldest one is always he grows his own medicine. So he's always entertaining to talk to late at night if there's a conversation. He often forgets what he's talking about. Like, hey, go ahead. I just saw you, my niece, above. He goes, oh yeah, she was. Hello, you still there? Yeah. Well, what were you saying? I said, I just asked you about your daughter. This is like the third time I asked you about your daughter. Oh yeah, and then he'll laugh for 20 minutes. They're older, and hopefully they don't stop dropping. Listen, it doesn't matter. The older you get, there's two things you don't want to do. You don't want to start dropping a deuce in your pants. That's probably my number one. Yep. And the second one, you want to make sure your donkey can get up in the morning and still whistle. That's all I care about.
Those are two very important things.
Yes,
that stuff comes up, and I don't have to be with anyone. As long as I can. Thank you. You're still alive and kicking.
You're still alive and kicking. So people, you're at the point too where I think you get a lot of best of type things where people are like, do your Joe Pesci, or you do AC/DC, or
it's Joe Pesci.
You've got so much. Do Goat Boy from Saturday Night Live. I mean, how do you handle that? Because people love it. That's the problem.
Well, they love it, but you'd be surprised of the pockets of people that come see me. It's a really interesting diversity. So I get a little bit of Go Boy, I do the goat. I get a little bit of they shout long live paint. Some people go, what is that?
Yeah.
There's all different do the part in the stomach. Do Pesci's never heard of anymore though.
Yeah, that's
very
interesting.
No one knows who he is anymore. No offense to him.
Yeah, you're
right.
right.
Know who he is.
Yeah.
My kids don't know who he is. Let me tell you something. I got a kid on tour. He's filming everything. He's 19. Greatest kid you ever know. He'd even know. He couldn't name one Beatle.
Oh yeah, that's where we are.
he had no clue like who the Rolling Stones were.
Yeah.
He like we're like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You never heard the Rolling Stones? He's like, is that a UFC fighter? I'm like, a UFC? What? They don't.
No, they don't.
And that's another interesting thing to see as time moves on.
Yeah.
The music we love and the people we think are popular and the greatest, they have zero clue. So I do have somewhat of a new, younger audience. My audience is all over the place. It's very interesting. That's why I hit kind of all. And there's nights where I'm going, and they'll lose their mind over a certain subject, which I didn't expect.
Right.
And then the next night, I'm like, all right, let me hit this, and there's just blank faces. I'm like, okay, let me divert, and we'll go in this direction.
Yeah, well, that takes that's why you're good at what you do, because you can do it all. Sometimes you got to make a quick right or left turn and make it all work. And you can do that.
Yeah, I got a toolbox.
Yeah.
I got a whole toolbox of stuff. Like, you guys want some stories? Okay, we're gonna. Oh, you like the conspiracy stuff? All right, we can have fun with that.
I got to tell you that.
Where are we gonna go?
My wife is a teacher, and just recently had a person come in and speak to the class, and she came home to me and she's like, I got so frustrated because he's talking about stuff these kids have no idea. No. She said, I knew what he was talking about, but there were 22 kids in the room that had no clue of the names that he was dropping. And so you gotta know your audience, and that's and I gotta tell you, Jim, when I'm watching SNL sometimes, I'm looking at my wife like, what in the hell was that just about? Yet they're all laughing. Everybody's laughing. I don't get it. They think they get it.
You've crossed the threshold. You're in that. What the hell is going on?
What the hell?
You're about 5 years from going, hey, get off the grass. You're 5 years from there.
You may be right. Listen, we've taken up enough of your time. I know you're on the road every night practically, and we can't wait for a week from this Sunday at the Stanley Theater. And get your tickets. Go to Ticketmaster.com. We may give away a pair of tickets next week. I'm excited about that. Got my tickets the first day they were available. You are one of my favorites all time, and I appreciate it, Jim, for you coming on.
I appreciate you guys, too. And congrats for all your success, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Well, we said it was 100 years. We never said it was 100 years of success. I mean,
that is true. That is true.
All right. Thank you so much.
Later, Taters. Bye.
Jim Brewer.
He is so awesome.
You will love this show. And it is a show you could... I'm not saying there's not stuff he's going to talk about that isn't uncomfortable, because that does exist.
Yes.
But it's hilarious, and he hits on things you never thought of. He is one of the greatest stand-up comics in the country, and is at the Stanley next Sunday.
The 26th.
The 26th.
So Jim Brewer did, toward the end of COVID, or at the back end of COVID, did a special called Somebody Had to Say It. And some of it involved mockery of government, and it was the way he did it was just the funniest thing I've ever seen. But included in there, when you talk about uncomfortable topics, he talked about the passing of his father.
Yeah.
And if it's an amazing thing, it almost got emotional, and I'm certain it's emotional for him.
Come in here, Dave.
But he talked about when his father passed, and his father passed in his arms. And
he was a caretaker for his dad.
And when a comedian who can make you laugh about losing a parent, that's how talented this guy is. Jim Brewer, there's a million. You mentioned AC/DC. That used to be one of my favorites. He's done so much since then, I forgot. He's got one of the greatest AC/DC impressions, and he does Metallica also.
Well, he also,
oh my God, he's so good.
I think he has a band as well. He does music as well as a band. So listen, he is awesome. And Davey, come in here for a second. What's wrong? What are you upset about?
Thank you, buddy.
Because you got a break. We haven't done one.
Since when?
Since almost 8 o'clock.
Oh, boy, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Well, before we do that, Route 8 northbound in the town of New Hartford, there is a large spill of loose gravel. This just happened this morning. Please avoid State Route 8, the northbound lane, north of Kellogg Road in the town of New Hartford. New Hartford police have a road closure in place in this area. New York State Department of Transportation crews are beginning to clean and clear the road. Again, Route 8 north of Kellogg Road, loose gravel
going over into
spilled down the road.
over that way.
Yes, toward Chadwick, Sequoit, etc.
All right, the Falcon Clinic, Washington.
Is that north or south?
That's would be to the south of
North of Kellogg. Gotcha.
So it's north of Kellogg.
North of Kellogg
So it's
Road.
before you get to Washington Mills. All right. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, if you're going there, you might want to take Route 12 over there and then cut down to the Falcon Clinic. It might be your best bet today. And OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment. Maybe you've been going through and you've been sick for a little while and you need everything to be just so that everything's flowing properly. You're adjusted in a way that you might get at a chiropractor, but this goes even deeper. Maybe it was the flu. They have a procedure that actually helps. It's called OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment, and I feel like it works. I go once a month, and mine is coming up soon. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. And now, if you're in need of a new primary physician, Dr. Cheryl Mattern is now on the team at the Falcon Clinic, along with Dr. Shemileski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Kosminski, all under one roof. You can make an appointment and see your doctor for the very first time, your new family doctor. You can get it at the Falcon Clinic. Call today at 315-507-4751. You'd be amazed at the number of people who have switched to the Falcon Clinic because they're looking for that old-fashioned treatment where they give you the time. It's not all about putting everything into the records, and you get a classic experience of going to see your doctor, and to me, that means everything in the world. It's the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's hard to know what to do when you lose a loved one. You need someone you can trust to help you navigate all the options. Mohawk Valley Monuments has been providing comfort and delivering quality memorials in our community for over 95 years. Mohawk Valley Monuments has experience with all the local cemeteries, from simple grave markings to intricate family mausoleums. For personalized service, call us today at 315-724-7629 or visit us at mohawkvalleymonuments.com.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're almost out of time. So that'd be 20 after, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
If your Windows, a couple things that I got to talk about some stuff. If your Windows struggle this winter, you might be ready for new Windows, and now is the time from New York Sash. It's the trade-in and upgrade event. For every old window they replace, homeowners get a $100 instant trade-in credit for every window. That can be an enormous savings for you. If a budget is your concern, they offer flexible financing options in New York Sash to help make those upgrades happen now rather than later. But don't wait. It's a limited time offer. You got to get it in before the end of the month. It's New York Sash, 349 at Riscany Boulevard in Whitesboro. So another, this is why I'm worried about the president. And I get it. There are people that are yelling back at me, especially on YouTube. I see you, John, saying you don't understand. You know, you should see. Yes, yesterday he was, or over the weekend on Truth Social, he was speaking about how he bought Ed McMahon's house, and no one he did not want anybody to know. Ed McMahon from Johnny Carson fame and what else? He did some other shows and stuff. But at the end of his life,
Publishers Clearing, right?
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah.
At the end of his life, he was ready to he was losing his home. Trump said he bought the house.
Star Search.
He let him live in that home, in his own home for the rest of his life.
That's a beautiful story.
But it never happened. In fact, there's evidence. The family came out and said it never happened. He was going to buy it, never did, never closed. They sold it to somebody else, and Ed McMahon was evicted. So
that scares me.
Never, ever happened. Pretty scary. And then one more, Davey. I'm going to do one more. River Hills Properties. Listen, at River Hills, it's all about services provided. And they do a tremendous job. Now, with a full team of agents in sunny Florida on the Gulf Coast side. So you could be that snowbird and have a local agent to help you. It's River Hills. Call today, River Hills Properties, 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
It's day 2 of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Our expectation is that the Iranians are going to continue to make progress to opening the Straits of Hormuz. And if they don't, it's going to fundamentally change the negotiation that we have with them.
Vice President Vance also tells Fox after he led weekend negotiations with Iran, the ball is in their court ahead of another possible round of talks.
China is the #1 purchaser of Iranian oil, and they want normality restored as soon as possible in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States is attempting to counter Iran's effective closure of the essential trade waterway with a blockade of its own, targeting ships going to or from Iranian ports. Beijing calling this move dangerous and irresponsible.